Monkey King.
Dire team pick.
Wall. Behold the horn of Magnus.
OG's turn to pick.
Terror Blade.
Hi everyone in Dota TV, if you are actually able to hear us. I heard you may not. I heard they may not be able to. Purge started that rumor, but we also had the rumor beforehand they could hear us.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, not good.
Reserve time.
Hi!
Oh.
Sorry, I should have warned Sin about that. Was that good? Sorry, Sin.
That was extremely loud, holy shit.
Okay, you need me to turn Sin's headset down a little bit.
Yeah, you can turn me down a little bit.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Kill you all.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ursa Warrior.
OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. Dire team pick. 10 seconds 5 remaining. Seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. 10 Dire team ban. 10 seconds 5 remaining. Seconds reserve remaining. Time. OG's turn to ban. 10 seconds 5 remaining. Seconds reserve remaining. Time. OG's turn to pick. 10 seconds 5 remaining. Seconds reserve remaining. Time. Dire team pick.
Slug.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Many times they have tried to get themselves to a Valve Grand Final. Virtus Pro always coming up short until tonight. Will they be the ones to stop OG, who have a 100% win rate in every Grand Final of a Valve event they reach? Sind, is tonight the night for VP?
I think they're the favorites, personally at least. They looked amazing in today's matches. They looked amazing yesterday. OG have had a little bit of hiccups, but they made it here again. Like you said, you can't really... It's hard to go against the track record of OG, especially I think you even mentioned that they won every single one 3-1 as well. Pretty much every single one. There actually hasn't been a Valve final which has not been 3-1 since we go back to TI3 when it went for the full best of 5, and that was also the only grand final which went the whole distance. Yeah, well, OG definitely have the track record favoring them, but this is not going to be an easy final for them. I think VP looked very scary. I think they have a great draft for themselves in this game. They got their Magnus again, double melee core, great team fight lineup. Good roaming hero for Lil. They have the crowd, 6th player, maybe.
Maybe. Playing from the bench, I'm sure everyone here is a lot behind VP, especially more than OG.
30 seconds to battle.
Like, who are the crowd favorites, but they'll be fighting against them, fighting against Virtus Pro, and as you said, it's a great team fight, it's the great initiation, it's the great aggression that can be tempered by Virtus Pro that comes out of their draft, and no surprise the panel is leaning towards them as well, but OG is their Terrorblade kind of play. You have S4 on one of his critical heroes, Jirax on the OP King, Anna, who has been an absolute wonder for anyone who's got him in his fantasy team, playing that mid lane. He's been having a superb tournament.
Yeah, OG are on a very comfortable lineup as well. I think this game is pretty difficult to say who's a favorite just based on draft alone. I think both teams have different strengths. Just when it comes to raw team fights, so much comes down to who gets the jump. If S4 gets to set up for the Monkey King, they have great team fight follow-up with him and Phoenix and the Invoker. On the other hand, any decent RP, VP, I feel like are just going to roll over whoever they catch in the RP. They have so much follow-up damage. They have Golem. As I mentioned, the 2 melee cores with high burst damage, both of them, both Slark and Ursa, kill quickly. And the Tusk can be very disruptive in these fights as well. Actually, I think a pretty interesting hero to have against a hero like Terrorblade. Not the fastest hero already, and then you add in Frozen Sigil. I can, of course, also try to catch him off guard with the shards. It's not that easy for Terrorblade as a carry to get out of this shard compared to many other heroes that have some sort of mobility, like the Slark they have themselves, or an Anti-Mage with Blink. That type of hero. I like the Tusk here for VP, although it's not something we've seen from them too much this turn so far.
We'll see if the synergy can work for it. For now, like this aggro tri lane that Virtus Pro has been running has kept the Monkey King's attention down the bot lane, now forcing Jirax and Lil to have kind of this little bit of a roaming maneuver, and that leaves a one-on-one matchup. No one against the Invoker, the mid-Ursa with PMS. And how is this Invoker really meant to do anything against the Ursa, especially when no one's getting this aggressive, continuously pushing into him, trying to keep the swipes up?
I'm pretty sure this lane matchup is unwinnable for Invoker early on. I can't see, like you said, what he's supposed to do. Just going to keep running at him, clapping him, and then hitting him with Fury Swipes. Probably going to need help from the Monkey King at some point here. Speaking of which, bottom lane. Jirax, get some damage out.
No one's been forced to run around the tree lines. Invoker actually didn't even level up Cold Snap because he avoided the point up in Quas. He went for a 1-Wex, 1-Exort at the start here for the Invoker.
Yeah, he needs the Lycra to reliably last hit here.
Don't take this
see him
the
using
wrong
all
way.
of his mana more or less to get this Alacrity running.
Well, he's got 3 CS out of the 10-5 that the Ursa has managed to find so far. This is a very good laning phase so far for Virtus Pro. Even the Slark did a lot on the off lane, and up on the top lane, well, Pasha, it's been rough for him, but he's still keeping neck and neck with S4 CS.
This is definitely not the greatest matchup you can have your Magnus in, but the early levels, just with Magic Stick, should be fine for Pasha. This mid lane, we might see here, Lil, shards connecting.
He gets pushed back in again, no one, he doesn't actually have the clap. TP support is forced out, so Jirax will move to the mid lane. But you can feel Virtus Pro looking for that first blood.
This mid matchup, I feel like it's one that was pioneered by the old DC. Weehaw used to play this mid Ursa against Invoker and this type of hero that is a bit slow in lane and take great advantage of it, and no one seems to have been inspired by that. This is an absolute trashing in the mid lane. You were praising Ana going into this thing. He's had a great tournament. He's going to need to come back in this lane. He's down 3-19 in CS 3 minutes in.
Yeah, this is not the dream for an Invoker. If he can get the hand of Midas, then maybe he can start playing catch-up. But for now, it's just avoid dying to no one. Don't escalate the problems in the mid lane, because if they do that and this Ursa gets momentum, Virtus Pro will be having a celebration drink tonight.
A celebratory.
A celebratory, yes, thank you, Cedric.
There it is. No
I rely on you.
It's my native language, not yours.
I only speak Australian.
What you came for.
So they switched the lanes up Virtus Pro. They brought Ramses to the top. So Pasha actually moves himself down to bottom lane. He's had a really good start with the boots already and is looking to just encroach onto that energy booster. And then he can just hold back this bottom lane. 2 points up in the Shockwave. Very difficult for OG to push it out. And that's what we haven't seen really yet from Notel. He's already burnt the Metamorphosis once, and the damage to the tier 1 tower is negligible.
S4, he wanted this top rune. This can get scary for him. Oh, they're not going to connect. The Firefly was running out, and if they catch him in charge, there is a play for the two supports there. But they are stacked up nicely by the sticky napalm. So he will get both bounty runes here. And with his bottle, very nice for him. He's going to be using the shrine as well. So fairly uncommon that we see Batrider get bottle in the off lane, but S4 is rocking it this game. Probably expecting that he will be able to grab this bounty a couple of times to play off that advantage.
Is he actually? This is one of the most determined catapults I've ever seen. S4's going to bring it underneath the tower. Bottom lane, Pasha. Well, Notel and Fly, you've got the Hadouken from the creep. Actually helping them out. I don't know if Fly is purposely planning that, but Pasha remains low. He's still got the escape until Jirax in through the side. Doesn't actually have the stun, but the stun strike, the stun will be let out. Nada hits the money lord, and that'll help him come back a little bit, down to level 5. And the net worth will also be boosted up. He's now second to the net worth with that kill.
Yeah, this pretty much makes the mid lane even, more or less. Experience looks even. He's totally back in the game. Great connection there from OG. Maybe a bit cocky from Pasha to go for that last hit, and he did have Skewer. Maybe he was trying to bait Fly in and then Skewer him back, but...
Oh, S4 so low. The leash is there. Ramses. A quick rebuttal on the safe lane. S4 was playing with fire, literally.
Slark is going to get a very fast Midas this game. So. Good for Ana to come back into this game. I think it's going to be very important for OG that they land these Sunstrikes. Their kill potential in the early game is not that great in any of their lanes. Monkey King plus Batrider may have a play, but Slark is such a difficult opponent to bring down. Jirax will find Lil here. One prod from the Tusk.
He's trying to stop the aggressive ward placement of Lil, or at least see if Lil puts it down. Meanwhile, soaking up the experience in the mid lane, because there's no way Ana wants to come back here. He's trying to get as much farm out of the jungle as possible. You still want to have that 9-minute Midas, and he is on the way for that. Maybe a little bit earlier because of that kill.
And it's also very good for Monkey King to get a bit of experience. I feel like this hero has had varying success, and a lot of the time it comes down to whether you manage to get a timely level 6. The Wukong's command will be a very great ability against such a melee-heavy lineup like Virtus Pros with 4 melee cores.
Tusk is looking to engage up on top. If he could find a good position for it, put down a rather defensive ward on the Radiant side of the river, just around the shrine. Not a common one to de-ward unless you want to get the hill point.
S4 is being spotted here, I think. Actually, I can't talk about it. Now he is.
Yeah, that observe ward, if they cut down one of the trees, they would see a hell of a lot more.
So they will see him rotating toward mid. Not quite sure what Notel is searching for right now. Trying to get a de-ward, I suppose. Doesn't find anything.
They're still looking for the ward the Tuskar put down. Because they didn't actually see Lil retreat back out, so the only information they had to start with was watching from Jirax's perspective. And that was the Tuskar running next to the Ancients. That's why they put the sentry down, trying to get S4. Just that little bit of extra cash.
Midas complete in 50 gold. bit of pressure on Fly here in the bottom lane as well from Pasha. There will be a TP coming in again from Terrorblade, who went back to regen up.
His Metamorphosis is coming off cooldown, and Pasha is in a position where he can slow the attack, but thanks to the Observer Ward that's sitting behind the tower on the bottom, OG may feel inclined to again go for the exact same play they did previously. So you bring in the Monkey King from behind, you keep the harassment onto Pasha, and then just jump him for the stun into Sunstrike.
That would be a really good kill now with Metamorphosis ready as well. Should give them the tower.
Jirax, no. He's looking for it. The pounce up. There goes your Sunstrike. No, he didn't get the stun timing right. Tried to actually stun Pasha mid-skewer.
That was an excellent skewer. I'm not sure where he saw Jirax, but had a feeling that it was coming. Still OG, get the bigger objective as it looks. They will be taking the tower. Pasha TPing in as early as possible, but... and flipping.
Is still a little late. With the catapult behind him, Sprite's flying in Jirax. He wants to go for another quick jump. It just creates space more than anything else and allows NoTail to take the T1 tower. A VP, they look for their own tower. Double damage onto the Ursa, beating into the T1 tower in mid, and Ana coming to defend. So is Jirax. Modification will scare off the Hungry Bear.
Ana has recovered very nicely in this game. It's very impressive when you get destroyed that hard early on. That's what a Sunstrike kill can do for you, especially when it's the first blood. Midas is already been used once. Still overall a fairly quiet early game. Only 2 kills, minute 9, but good amount of pressure still being applied. OG taking the first tower. As you said, Ursa doing whatever he can mid, doing some chip damage.
It's the rest of VP that are getting a lot of space. Ramses was taking the stacks while Solo was leeching the experience. It's pushing him up. They're trying to get the level 6s or just even items and levels on their supports. So Tuskar as well as Warlock become the priority, while Slark can just farm in the jungle at his level 8. Not to mention, he's also using his own Hand of Midas. So finding that far. Middle lane, Lasso, out from S4. The jump is coming forward, a long pounce down, but no wonder will he have enough speed to get out of this one. The stun, it's a triple stun out from Jirax. The Sunstrike won't connect. Now in comes Ramses. He was farming the jungle. He wants to find a kill. The snowball, who's Tuskar going for? The RP! Pasha, the perfect timing. Ana, deafening blast, trying to push back Ramses. He's able to actually do it. S4 has the double kill out of it. And they're not done yet, or are they? No one. Phase boots are on cooldown, so he's not going to run over the hill.
This Frozen Sigil is very important to consider. We don't really talk about the ability too much when we're talking Tusk, and it's a bit subtle in the fights, but it makes a very big difference when heroes group up like that. Was a good engage from OG, but this time around I do believe the Sunstrike missed.
It did.
On Ursa. He was turning around to fight, and could have maybe been a slight bit better on the execution there. They don't want a Sunstrike immediately when they go on because they're expecting the Enrage to come off, so well played by Ana to hold it, but then...
With both teams, so it ended up being an even trade. Like, OG got 331 gold, and Virtus.pro got 322 gold. So, it was so damn close and meme-filled. Virtus.pro, they found the Observer Ward. OG really wanted to have this for a fight. Jirax just... Yes, you hit the deny. Okay, no money for you.
Good way to be annoying.
OG's getting ready to fight up on top lane. Fly does have that Supernova available. NoTail's got Metamorphosis up. Jirax still shy of his level 6, but S4. No Blink Dagger yet, but you know what he wants. Firefly up, come over the tree lines into Lil's blind spot, and then just lasso him back. The Sunstrike, it will connect. So even though Ana is farming up in the mid lane and holding the pressure back, he still is able to get this free gold. And that's one of the big reasons why Ana gets so many points in these series, is because OG help him all the way, especially with heroes like this Invoker. Now you take the T1 tower, the money starts rolling in. And VP, where's that aggression now come? You didn't go for the early Vlads on the Ursa. Does he actually get... Because he went for the Blink Dagger. Do you still think about Roshan before you go for a fight with a Blink Dagger?
Roche is a bit tricky right now. You're playing against the Monkey King and the Bat Rider. They have really good vision around that area, so it's not too easy for VP. Surprising to me, honestly, here that Lil was standing next to that tower before they even went on him. I was gonna say they probably will just give up this tower because they don't have RP, and OG were already grouped up and in a very nice position.
Here comes the gang.
Yep.
Ana is going to be the one caught out. The Observer was down. They see him clearly. They even drop the rock. Hatred galore for the Invoker.
That's a mid tower as well. Totally worth dropping the rock for such a big kill. No Metamorphosis, no Invoker.
Under attack.
And no fortification to delay things either.
Yeah.
So 5-man rotate, or 4-man rotation for this, plus Rock. Meanwhile, OG is still trying to get everything they need to fight. The phase boost is coming up for Jirax, but more importantly, he's getting a space in the bottom lane to get the Wukong's command up. And that'll make VP a little bit more cautious about the fights. With the Blink Dagger on S4 and Wukong command, VP can get easily zoned when they don't have that RP or that Warlock Golem to drop down and do the counter control on the fight.
The Magnus Blink Dagger is coming up very soon though, so both RP and Skewer will be nice tools for them. And as far as the game is going right now, it looks very even on the graphs. And I think if VP knew that, they would be fairly happy with that. They're starting to gonna be able to build up a lot of passive farm now that Empower is reaching high levels. It's currently level 3. Benefits Mag, Slark, and Ursa tremendously throughout the entire game. And OG will probably keep up the farming pace mainly by virtue of using this conjure image of the Terrorblade. Of course, a lot of the time with Terrorblade, you get a lot of gold without getting too much experience. The illusions are the only ones pushing out.
S4 is on the hunt. He just pinged down saying, I'm fairly certain there is an observer here. They don't have any, they don't have any detection. Both the supports with no sentry wards, they can't get rid of the obs ward, which is why VP understand this is not a fight they want to take. So they let the tier 1 tower fall. That's the last remaining tier 1 tower of Virtus Pro.
And they smoke up. This is the Magnus Link reveal. Golem is on cooldown, however. But I feel like we have to mention the discrepancy in experience between the cores right now. Slark is level 12 to the level just 9 of Terrorblade. This is the Midas coming into play. It's the nature of the heroes coming into play. So the gold graph is looking okay, but this experience will keep flowing the way of VP, and all these passive stats they're getting from leveling up their heroes will play a big role. Keep in mind, OG's lineup is not the greatest at all against Slark in general. So Ramses can have one of these games that he takes over later on, and OG might need to itemize to address this Slark. Something along the lines of a Hex or maybe some serious burst.
Is there a way they can itemize to just add pressure before the Slark hits that late game? If he's going to become unmanageable later on, does this then become one of those timing pushes around the 30-minute mark where OG look to go high ground?
I find it difficult to imagine.
Blink Lasso. Talk about the Slark, drag it back in. Wukong command as well as Sunstrike. Ramses will pounce down. He goes into the Shadow Dance, but S4 keeps right on top of him thanks to Haste Rune. A very, very fast bat.
Monkey King is so nice against Slark because you can't precast the Dark Pact. You don't get to react because the stun comes out of the trees. And a big pick here for OG. For now, this is going to work, so very nice kill for them, buying more time. It's going to be difficult for OG to end this game early before Slark gets strong. I think they're going to have to address him at some point. That kill definitely helps slowing him down. Later will be a very strong hero.
This Observer Ward sees a lot. Lil and Pasha are running around. If Pasha, he's going to cast the Empower from outside the pit into the pit. Nah, here comes the Force Spirit. They really want to see Illusion as well. S4 has the Firefly up. They see no one low, but remember, there is no Lasso. So without that, you're not really going to have much to work with. So they just have to play the distance. Keep in mind, too, Jirax's position. No Wukong command for him either. Another reason why VP probably feel very confident coming in here. They've got their big ultis up.
The Pure Swipe stacks expired on Roshan, so no one lost interest in trying to... He's never going to find a double damage, and he has a bottle, so they have plenty of time to save this up for a good moment, either to Roche or find a team fight. The line is being drawn here by Fly that he thinks... I'm actually not sure what to make of this line.
Is that a push to mid lane?
Push to mid lane, it might be, but no one's doing it, so... Or this is where the mid lane is.
Sounds like a nursery rhyme.
Didn't really see the movement out of them that line would represent, but now he's going to do it himself. Maybe that was the whole point. I will take care of mid. I got this area. Go farm elsewhere.
VP smoked.
Yep.
Oh, Warlock.
Monkey King.
One of these trees is stacked on the other. One of these trees just doesn't fit in. And Ursa, he triggered his double damage and he really wanted to go in for Roshan. The Terrorblade Illusions just coming to the front lines. S4 still with that Firefly triggered.
They saw Jirax. They saw Jirax.
And they pull him back in. The lasso is out. Fly goes into the Nova. Will the egg pop? Ramses tries to slow him down. The stun from Jirax will do the work. She get a 5-man stun. No! They kill him off just in time. Wukong command controlling on the back when Jirax gets mopped up by Ramses. No more command. No tail. He's got Sunder available. The Ice Wall from Ana is controlling no one, but here goes your RP. It catches out the Terrorblade. He will fall. No one, not gotta help the man. S4 still causing real problems at last attack, allowing Magnus. Pasha gets back to base in the back of his TP, and Ramses will retreat. So a 3-for-3 trade-off. Both these teams going hammer and tongs and coming out even.
Great engage from both of them. They ping out the Monkey King. They saw him jumping onto the tree. Lil pings him. They blink skewer him with mag. So they stun him by breaking the tree first and then skewer him down. Kill him. He did get Wukong's command out, but got killed off pretty quickly after. But because OG got the counter engage at the same time with the Bat Rider, it ended up being an even fight. If OG aren't quick to pounce there, they would have probably just lost the Roche on Monkey King being dead and VP having some decent vision. So very close once again.
Let's have a quick look at that movement. So there it is, the blink, the skewer, the stun. But Warlock couldn't get his ulti off either. S4 has been right on the money.
The Supernova was so close, and that would have been a big win for OG this fight.
Really thought that stun was going to last a little bit longer from Jirax. But it wasn't long enough. But it
so
still
much patience from Pasha here.
Yep.
Great play all around from everyone. That was a very good fight. No one won. Not the player. Nobody won.
That's my line.
Well, in a way, maybe slight victory for VP. As far as economy, it didn't really change the gold graph too much, but No Tail died and Slark survived. And Slark, I believe, got one of the kills, did he? He got 2 of the kills, actually. He killed both Fly and Jirax, so good money flowing in for him.
But you're still
Almost
also
has
having the main
Echo Saber.
initiator of OG not being controlled. Like S4 is 4-1-3 on this Bat Rider, Blink Dagger, 4-staff up, and he's kind of the man which is controlling such a heavy amount of this fight. What happens when he's able to pick up a Shiva's Guard? What happens when he's able to control a VP and it becomes the saving of Lil, where we turn our attention to, as opposed to the aggressive roll forward which we got from Lil in the last fight?
They will probably have to consider Lincoln's later on. I don't think it's necessary just yet. Of course, Ursa is a very special case. He has a built-in way of dealing with the Bat Rider lasso in his Aghanim's that he is working on right now. Great choice in this game. It's good against the entirety of OG's lineup, really.
But Ramses will need the Lincoln Sphere still.
More than likely,
if he can't get
yes.
the timing, it's like that insurance thing.
The alternative for him is going BKB, and then you can probably survive if you click it fast. I don't think OG have enough burst through BKB, not yet anyway, to kill him off.
Yeah.
Terrorblade will deal substantial amounts of damage later, but as you mentioned, there's always the trump card in Tusk that could turn things around. Jirax is up to some mischief bottom. He actually gets spotted here again by Lil. He's pinged out, so they know where the Monkey King is, and this could prompt them to go for a play. The Blink Dagger RP is available once again on Magnus. But VP don't have to make plays.
They're all grouped up in the mid.
Farm.
VP want to actually still look towards Roshan. Like, we can't forget, that was the other big advantage OG had from around the fight. It's the fact that Virtus Pro, with an Ursa, we're 20 minutes in and they still haven't claimed their first Roshan. The builder that was coming in from Ursa anyway kind of understood this. Hence he's gone Blink, Basher, and now onto Aghanim Scepter. It's not Flash, it's not the Aura play we've seen before. RP up on top, catching out Ana. No one will jump in, but Ana Invest. Who brought the detection? The Sentry was too far away. Ana makes a break for the tree lines. Now the Dust will go. Rolling boulder forward. Ana creates a little bit of space with Tornado, but nowhere near enough. 50 seconds on the sideline, but you commit your RP, you commit all 5 heroes to go for that fight. But without the Invoker, Roshan becomes a very heavy topic.
That was such an awkward kill. He got RP'd, just stood invis in the whole RP, started walking around, and then finally the Dust actually barely clipped him there. I think Solo wasn't too far away from missing that. They got the kill. Nice understanding from VP that they could connect. Good communication there.
Note that VP didn't go straight in for Roshan. Jirax was expecting it. That's the reason why he moved so early. He could camouflage himself, because one of these trees, again, doesn't fit in.
It's not easy for VP to go for Roche, even though they kill Invoker. There's still the threat of getting jumped by Bat Rider. If they just pick off anyone, the fight is kind of, or the Roche attempt is over, and they could just lose key heroes down there. No RP, out of mana on Ursa. They decide it's too difficult, and I'm with them on that. Actually, No Tail showing the real hero top. He's trying to get jumped by Ramses right now.
Yeah, he wants to go on him. No Tail, the damage should be enough. He's got Sunder available. Let's go, put the rock. Okay, again, Solo. Very, very happy to use that rock at a moment's notice.
He was very out of position. That was unusual for No Tail to be in this kind of position. Generally just put the illusions to push there and go in the jungle with your hero, but maybe he's starting to feel like he's feeling the pressure. There isn't that many safe areas on the map right now. Nice lasso.
Right, lasso pulling back in. The Sunstrike's gonna hit the timing. And with the Wukong's command, there's no help coming to Solo. They can get rid of that Observer Ward as well thanks to the sentry that's on the deck. Actually, no, the sentry is just out of range. So the Observer Ward was placed. Flame Break doesn't push them out of the pit. Aegis Immortal into the hands of no one. With the secondary sentry now down by Fly, they do get rid of the obs. But Roshan, it goes to Virtus Pro. Took 22 minutes to do it.
If OG commit that much to killing the Warlock who doesn't have Golem, they can't contest it. I think the Wukong's command was kind of wasted. Just the lasso into Sunstrike should be more than enough. Maybe they were expecting that VP would try to help their Warlock, but wisely just stay in the pit, claim the big objective, and Solo is more than happy to die for the cause there.
That's just
VP
what Solo
built more
always does.
advantage. This game is looking good for them right now. Still a close one though, but you would imagine going a bit later in with this Aghanims coming up for Ursa momentarily, and BKBs will be coming out later, and Lincoln. OG's teamfight execution gets harder and harder, whereas VP, they have this exceptional AoE BKB piercing ability and massive AoE damage, actually 2 BKB piercing ultimates, whereas they only really have the Bat Rider ulti on OG, and that's single target.
Yep.
Well, the explosion of Supernova, but not reliable, let's put it that way.
Unless Fly can get the perfect position on a hill like that, that's not going to be your dream. And VP smoking up, they're trying to make the most out of all these ultimates we've just been listing. Look for the opening. It's the
Invoker.
Invoker.
He the NATO! Beautiful by no one. Wow, that was perfect. Out of it.
Spectacular Dota, and now Virtus Pro with no Invoker again on the field. Anna, 4-4. It was the Invoker who got pressured early on, played a great catch-up game, and now is becoming the primary target for Virtus Pro. But they're not forcing the issue too heavily. It's back to the lanes. It's back to pushing them back out. They understand if they start losing tier 2, tier 3 towers and one fight just goes slightly awry, and with no buybacks, that Terrorblade could do a lot of damage very quickly.
Absolutely.
Not to mention, this is the OG specialty. You get the illusions out, you keep the side lanes pressured. You keep Virtus Pro always wondering if they're going to get the better trade-off. And when those big AoE ultis are blowing, going up high ground when you're considering that you have to trade tier 2 for tier 3 or something along these lines, it still makes you think twice.
Ramses is so far ahead though.
Yeah, he's
It's
14k.
He is 3 levels ahead of the highest level in OG. Okay, it's going to be too soon here with Ana getting 17. But
He just got his BKB as well.
Yep.
Like, it's coming on the courier.
that's the item. It's going to be an issue. He could still go for the Lincolns in combination with it, and then suddenly OG are extremely limited in how they can control this Slark. We were talking about how it was going to be a problem. I don't think they've managed to shut him down nearly enough in order to prevent him from getting this game. But then again, how would they? It's just a beautiful pick from BP in this game. It was their 5th pick, right?
It was.
Yeah. Very nice.
No one jumps in, goes in S4, quick forced up. Anna looking for a tornado hit. He's not going to find anything. No one sees it coming from a mile away.
Remember, no one can break tornado as well with Axe if he wants to. I believe that should work.
S4, he's looking at Lil. He can't look at no one. He knows he can't look at no one. But the force arm's still on cooldown for another 2 seconds.
Middle tower is under
So we're
attack.
sticking Napalm. Bloody Sigil, Ramsey, he'll go in, the Sunray's out, will it be enough life to regenerate up S4? No,
Oh, nice
Anna, he's
catch.
trapped in the shards, locked in the icy cone of death, with Zola dropping the rock. Virtus Pro, they bring down 2, Anna again with no buyback, will fall. Aegis Immortal is also up for the Ursa. He's got this in another 2 minutes.
Wow, that was excellent play.
They're gonna come in. They're coming into the OG home.
Yeah, RP is still online, and they have the Aegis. This was actually not that big of a commitment from them.
Yep.
All they used was Slog's BKB.
And the rock.
And the rocks, that is true.
No one was looking for an opening, but OG, they're back in so far. They're just trying to use the Fire Spirits to slow down the attack with the burn of the Sunray. They'll pull the creep wave down to the tier 4 towers. But again, you still don't have the Invoker. The jump in from Jirak, the 3-man stun, not committing the Wukong's command. They just try and put the Reflect onto Pasha. Now S4 is up.
Metamorphosis is used as well here. OG gets
The jump
nothing.
with our lasso. They found Solo. Again, it seems to be the consolation prize, the box of chocolates for coming and appearing in game 1. Virtus Pro still get what they want. The tier 3 tower, which now opens up the shrines outside.
By the way, we didn't get to touch so much on this. The the skill build of Solo in this game is very unusual. I think he was on level 5, he had 0-2-3, I want to say. I seem to remember that. So didn't go for the bonds early on, but prioritized upheaval. And I think it's his way of trying to deal with this Terrorblade's movements in the fight. It's the hero, if it can't just take these steps forward, it becomes very difficult to easily lose this deal damage. It's a trade-off though, right? You can also say, why don't you just max Fatal Bonds and kill them all? But it's worth highlighting that this is something different and some, I want to say, creative thinking, because this is an old build that almost never gets used anymore by Warlock, but Solo is making the decision in this game that it was more interesting. Now he's about to max out all 3 skills.
Oh, Slug so close. They don't have detection.
Oh, he knows it though, he knows it.
Detection is coming as the dust on Tusk. It'll actually connect on the Monkey King of all. Warlock will trick his as well, but Ana quickly ghosting away on the top lane. They want to fight this, however. Both dusted down. Monkey King puts the Observer Ward down as well, so they get good vision behind and in front. These 2 obs see so much of Virtus Pro, but still OG do not feel confident enough to take this, so they BT Invoker down to the bottom lane, and they start the split push.
Yeah, VP might as well wait as well. They have another BKB coming out. This is a full BKB for the Ursa of no one, so racking up the advantages. For OG to win a fight now, they need some absolutely spectacular combination of spells and some kiting as well, more than likely. When those BKBs are up, I think the fight's just a no-go. No-Tail is not strong enough yet to get through these 2 cores. Half because of his farm, half because of his levels. He's level 14. Slug's level 21.
So low on levels. Even Ana, like Ana's at 18. He's trying to play that game to get up. And he's the closest one to the Slug. And you can see also Ana trying to make up for what isn't there from the other heroes. So S4's building into a Yule Scepter. He's trying to have something else that can potentially trigger a later Linken's or be more control in the fight, which means the maneuverability is now being picked up by Ana. He needs to get the Shiva's Guard to survive, as well as provide the slow.
Eyeing him here. This is bad. There's a sentry next to him as well.
Ana, he doesn't know. And now, well, can he actually have enough space? The Tornado's going to miss, and Ana invis the dust as well. Centering Ana, movement speed. He doesn't have enough to get away, even with a deafening blast. This time he will have buyback. But while this was going on up on top lane, No-Tail is approaching the tier 3 tower. But will VP care? They still have their big ultis up, Rock and RP.
They need to be a bit cautious. They don't have a TP on Warlock, so he can't be the one going back to defend. Instead, they will, so far, not send anyone back. Who has TP? Guard doesn't use it. Cooldown on Tusk, cooldown on Mag. But at the same time, OG are cautious. They don't see heroes. Now they will see them on the server ward, and more than likely S4 will just TP out of this. Maybe he'll hang around. Oh, he got spotted by no one.
Oh, get out there, S4. The punch will be right in position, and no one will find the kill on S4.
How did he find him? Do you have a replay of that? Like, what?
Echo location?
They didn't scan, right? They didn't scan. They don't have vision, at least as far as I can tell. Maybe there was a ward that expired. No one with.
There was the Radiant Observer ward that was up there that got taken down.
That was an
I didn't see a dire ward.
Read if he just found him there. He might have just guessed based on knowing how No-Tail plays, or sorry, S4 plays this Batrider, but that was really impressive. Maybe I missed something there. I don't know. That seemed unreal. So JRX is closing in on Basher. I like to say this is one of the most broken items in the game on any hero. Basher on Monkey King is absurd, but he did go for Crest first, really respecting the physical damage output of VP and taking more of a defensive route, more likely buying it more for the defensive purposes than the offensive one. Yeah, he's keeping this farm going. JRX has had a pretty good game.
Fly is also going to get a little bit of extra farm and levels. He's picked up a hand of Midas, but Virtus Pro, they understand the position they're in this. They've continued to bring down the outer towers.
Roche is up.
OG do not want to fight this, and yeah, by taking out the tier 1 and tier 2 tower on top, and you know they'll turn their attention to the shrine. Roshan could be the next simple target. Ramses wants to give them a ticket to go in, and that ticket is kind of punched if he could find someone from OG out of position, almost like the Batrider. S4 was 4-staffing and blinking, looking for the kill on Pasha.
He still needs to be careful here. One misstep and it could go really wrong. Oh, something good happened for VP.
I think they scouted the smoke.
Yeah.
That's the Observer Ward that's sitting inside the base, and the OG came out. They're scouting out. Okay, it's just a Sunstrike to try and chip down the Ursa. Mr. BKB Pasha.
Ana with a tornado.
Oh, nice with the EMP burn. That will actually burn. No one's out of range, and so was Ramses.
gonna take the Shrine here more than likely.
Gold and silver.
Those big 2 control abilities. And I'll have to wait a little bit longer. S4 still hunting for a kill as well. 5 flying up, can't find anything. So there goes your Shrine. And they can just slip themselves into Roshan now. 5 flies off cooldown in 20 seconds time. That's a long time for OG not to have the vision. But VP aren't going directly in for Roshan. They're waiting it up a little bit. And you know OG's looking for it. So we'll have a quick look at what happened up on top.
Okay.
He just saw him from the other side?
Did he catch a glimpse of him? I actually didn't even see it in the replay.
We looked over too late.
Yeah, saw it a bit too late, but regardless, great catch there from no one. Whether it was quick reactions or just a good guess, it's a great play no matter what.
So if you're OG now, is it just a vision advantage around Roshan that you try and play and counter Roshan from VP?
I don't think you can give them this Roshan. You can't give VP this one. Generally, Fly is very good at leading his team, or whoever is doing the primary in-game shot calling for OG puts a lot of emphasis on not giving Roshan away when they have a good vision lineup. Last Roshan, they had to concede. I think it was the right choice at the time, but if they just let VP take this Rosh for free, they kind of just open their mid-barracks up.
Well, VP is currently waiting. They're not getting aggressive just yet, so they just got a fresh item on the slot. The full Skadi is now done for him, and with the Shadow Blade posture, try and slip a little bit further forward. Strike damage getting split between Lil as well as No One. They see a target as Ramses. He'll pounce himself away. He's just trying to poke the beast. S4 gets the blink lance over. No one breaks free. The Tornado with the Wukong's command. There's a huge amount of combinations. Lil will fall quickly. Ursa has to beat him. RP! Pasha! A whole enchilada that's done from Fly. He'll create space with the Firefly. It's actually nowhere enough. And a deafening blast tries to create more space. Fly gets Icarus dive out. Anna's on the run. But you know who's coming. It's the Slark under the Orbs and Sentry. Triple kill for No One, but they want everything. They want Ada. Difficult to catch him though when you've got cold feet from the ice wall.
It's a 4-man RP from Pasha. Great patience from him. Actually really like this engage from S4, as weird as it may sound. He jumped on the Ursa, and the reasoning here is OG want to force the fight to break out, and sure, the Ursa can break out of it with the Enrage, but then it's used at least. And they did get a pretty good setup for their fight. The Phoenix came in nicely, they got a good Wukong's command out. If it wasn't for this incredible RP from VP, this could have been a great fight for OG. And very rarely would you say it's a good play to just use Lasso on the Ursa Rex, and I actually liked it. Didn't work though, and that is going to be a Roshan again for Virtus Pro. This time they put it on the Slark instead of the Ursa. I'm guessing it's the Aghanim's difference this time that makes them make this decision.
They believe the Ursa is going to be the immortal one with the Aghanim Scepter.
Oh,
let's Ramses be a little bit more aggressive.
So have a look at this. He lassos. I don't know if it was a misclick. It might have been. Great Golem here. 4 heroes done. Great bonds. And now here we go. Pasha has already stepped to the side and gets in a massive RP here.
You couldn't have asked for anything better. Fly actually ended up sending one person with his Nova, and that was Solo. He did so much work to try and keep Anna alive, sacrificing himself. So maybe that's the only upside. Is the
fact, like, oh god, I only hit 4. Oh. No-Tail's like, damn, he hit 4. Well, there's 2 ways of looking at it. Pasha might be a bit disappointed because it was possible he could have survived that fight, but you know, you did well, Pasha. I think that's good enough for your team.
You can take what you can get when you're about 13,000 net worth in front and encroaching on 20k experience advantage for Virtus Pro. Like, you're very happy with your situation, and you're coming straight back into the fight. Golem's off cooldown in 28 seconds time. RP's already back up again, and Pasha, he's looking for Anna. Where are these Obs and Sentries? Where is this detection? Because Ramses will slip in under the cover of his Silver Edge, looking for the opportunity. Now, they do not see him OG. There's no Sentry Ward in the front line. S4 comes in. Now the Sentry's there. Tornado kicks up the slot. The Dark Pack will actually put him back down pretty quickly. Gets him away from the EMP. Not to mention the reflection.
It's going to feel up instantly though. He's ready to go again. VP?
They're worried about bottom lane. This is that trade-off, like what I was talking about. Like OG will always make you think, am I actually not getting the best out of this? So they have to send No One to the bottom lane to defend. Buy space and time for OG. And they need that because Virtus Pro are very much in the driving seat.
This will be a very quick push out from No One, and then he's going to reconnect with his team. Just push.
Target.
2 waves.
Invoker. He just ghost speeded on the Magnus, so he knew it. Pasha blinks forward, gets the RP off with a rolling bottle forward that actually punch kick him away. Will it be enough with Invoker? He does go down, 81 seconds on the sideline. He committed both the RP as well as the Golem, however.
Wait, what happened?
It looked like a Force Staff combining with the Walrus Punch.
I thought Tusk had Axe there. I was like,
Instantly,
what
I
happened?
thought the same thing. The synergy was right on the money for the Aghanim Center, but he does not have it.
That looked pretty funny. It must have been a Force Staff at the exact same moment.
It was.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I think it was S4 who was in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
he was the one that was pushing him.
Trying to save him there.
Monkey King, run. They know,
no.
the skewer. He'll get the stun 4 seconds. He was trying to hide as a tree.
Level 25 for Ramses.
That's so big. Solo's having troubles here in the mid lane, however. The burn is there, so Solo will fall. 2 supports down from either side, both without buybacks available. But you know Slark wants to come in. Sentry Wars, they're all over the place. And he actually used the Abyssal Blade on a fake No-Tail. No one, maybe not the greatest thing to initiate on. Slark still trying to run away. They shard to block the ramp area, but a quick range track for Virtus Pro.
He Abyssalled a Conjure image. That was not a Manta-style illusion, so just a bad read for him. But fortunately for him, he made No-Tail use Metamorphosis, so I guess it was a good play. That worked out very well for no one here. They're going to Shrine up. They know meta is on cooldown, and I think this is good enough for VP to consider high ground. They will take bottom tier 2 first. Ramses is alone here. Obviously, No-Tail and the rest of OG have no idea about this. They're trying to scout out with the illusions.
Okay, that's an easy tier 2.
Yeah.
What else are they trying to build towards? The Slark is going towards the Butterfly at the moment. Waiting to see Fly's item of choice. He's got 2,400 gold on this Phoenix. Maybe just buyback is still worth saving for. Anna is desperately trying to scrap to get the cash to pick up his Octarine. And S4 hasn't bought a new item in probably the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, when did he get the Yules?
I'm fairly certain it was around like 25.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Here they come, Virtus Pro. Observer Ward's there. Look at Batrider. Quick jump away. He's like, I know they can see me. I know they can see me. And a quick Abyssal Blade means he's gone, so send the illusions in.
This is still not clear-cut for VP. It's not that easy.
They need to basically explode someone with that Abyssal Blade at the very, very beginning, but doing that when you've got, like, you're jumping into the OG base, potentially then being dragged towards the tier 4 towers, this is the fight that VP don't want to take. They don't want to have to rely on the huge RP of Pasha to get them out of jail, like what could have happened in that mid-fight.
Yeah, their Aegis is also expiring, so they didn't get as much value out of this as they had maybe hoped, but it's good enough. They can keep farming. VP, if they have a good read on this game, should know that they are gaining massively. They can just take a look at the levels that they have access to, and they should be figuring out, okay, this is we're probably doing good. Maybe a bit misleading with the Midas and the XP talent on Tusk, but still.
S4's hunting,
wanna
Jirax
go.
gets the stun out, they need to see Pasha the RP! It whips! He doesn't find the target, Tornado will fly through, the rock will drop, this will keep the rest of OG out, but Jirax into the Wukong's command, looking to fight harder, Rams at the cover of the BKB, they focus on the Monkey King, removing the command from the field, the Nova, it should be able to connect, but not in time to save Anor, not in time to save Fly, yes it will, 4-man stun, the lasso is there, will it be enough? No-Tail, the damage, just a Terrorblade, he's getting enough of it out actually, the support is there, he'll sunder up no one, but he's lost his Metamorphosis, the damage, it doesn't, or does it? It does exist when Pasha skewers forward, the bash is there from no one, however, catching S4 down, as no one blinks and runs, Solo is left behind, No-Tail. He does have that Metamorphosis and chasing after Solo. Needs a little bit more damage, one more hit will do it, and this will be a 4-for-3 trade-off, technically in favor of OG.
The moment that RP missed, you could tell OG were all in on this fight. That's the best thing they can hope for. In addition, VP were kind of thinking about destroying the Supernova, I think, and then they're like, okay, we can kill the Invoker instead. And maybe in this situation, it would have been better to just destroy the egg to make sure this AoE stun doesn't come out. It's kind of those damn it if you do, damn it if you don't moments where if you get the egg, you know Invoker has a lot of spells left and can turn around and do a lot on you, but at the same time, Fly did so much that fight by getting out of the Supernova. So
he bought time for the Terrorblade.
Absolutely.
And
Big fight for OG.
It actually meant so much in the experience. You wouldn't have thought it was that close, but...
We're going to see it here. Complete whiff on RP. Almost got both, but ended up getting none.
And they even knew exactly where Jirax was. Jumps in, gets the perfect command off, and Anna goes in pretty deep on this.
Have a look at this. Ramses' perfect choice. You need to kill the Monkey King first. Now I think he hit the egg once, and then was like, oh, there's an Invoker, and now 1 health on the egg. just got it off. If that supernova breaks, the game's probably actually over. Like, they would have cleaned out this fight 5-0.
Yep, because
while missing an RP.
Fly actually brought so much regeneration back to the field. Like, it wasn't even just the fact that Notel was able to get the Sunder off. He did a lot of damage, plus having the regen, plus the fresh fights. A lot of things to control. And it actually gave him a 3k gold swing in favor of OG and a roughly 6k experience swing.
And a great fight for No-Tail, who got a lot of money out of that.
He's now level 22.
Got a full Scotty.
Full Scotty, has the Crystallis, looking in towards a Bloodthorn. They may have just fed the beast that is OG.
It's going to take more than this, though.
Definitely.
Remember that this was a completely whiffed RP. Even a 2-hero RP from Pasha right now is a very big deal. Now, big pickup here for Fly. He's going to get the Lincoln Sphere to try to counter out, I would imagine, mainly the Abyssal of the Ursa.
I'm wondering if he actually gives that over to Ana, because Ana's been more of that frontliner saying, VP, please kill me, so then Notel gets more space to work as the Terrorblade.
It's definitely important that Ana stays alive. You can't just sacrifice him at the start of the fight and expect to win it.
The 5-man smoking up. Ramses is the man revealing himself in mid. The scan is out
no
from the
one.
radiant side. They find no one. But the jump up from G-Rex, he's on the hill. The Sunstriker should be able to connect, but no one protected by the BKB. The RP, it only connected over on Ana, who got pushed into the trees into relative safety. Nova is down. The stun is actually holding no one in position. This Nova, it should be able to connect. It actually will do so. The Sly can't run away from this. Virtus Pro, they've lost 3. A terrible fight for them. After the back of that bottom engagement, they're looking for Solo. He's still on the run. S4's behind him. He has the Gem of True Sight. Now the Vision, the Sunstrike. Solo stops to heal. Actually saves it from the Sunstrike, but over into the tree line. S4, no Firefly available. So Solo needs some heavy jukes. Probably not going to be possible when he's sticky napalmed up. Movement is not the greatest friend when you're all gunked up.
And another lackluster RP. He got the Invoker, but the Invoker only, and the Invoker got instant force staffed. And VP couldn't stay on the target, so...
He just brought back with no RP, so will the Ursa and Notel. Okay, OG, they're happy with this.
I don't think so. I think they're going to keep going. They're 5-3. There's no RP.
And there's no rock.
Oh, it's worth thinking about at
S4's
least.
got Lasso in 2 seconds time, so they have the initiation. And with Dark Pack being used by Slark Tornado, it catches him. S4 doesn't want to go that deep, however.
VP need to make sure they have this Empower running constantly.
They're picking Roshan, but he's not up. OGO moving back towards Roshan, but he's still got almost another minute, or just under a minute, before he'll respawn.
OG took the full map control here, though. They have clearly better vision than VP because they kind of just team wiped them and forced them back into base.
Look at the swing at the graph. Like, we were always talking, like, the goal was a good one, but the experience graph was the critical thing we're pointing out. That has come a long way north for OG.
They have done a really good job at not positioning themselves for a good RP since that really big beat down next to the Roche pit last time.
Ramses finally has the counter to the Terrorblade, or at least part of it. He's picked up the Monkey King bar, so doesn't have to worry so much about that butterfly
no
on
buyback, though. This is an all-in. He didn't use his. He gets caught now. Dangerous.
And no one from VP has buyback. Everyone is out of money. Nice Tornado. EMP just a little bit more delayed with a Cold Wall. No one. Down to 1/3 of his mana.
He doesn't have buyback.
Oh, wait for it. S4, you can see him. He doesn't find his opening. The Sunstrike connects on Ramses. No one goes in. He sees an opportunity on Ana. But Ana gets pushed away. More stuff ever ready from S4. And they're coming over for Roshan now. The big man is up. They waited out the time. And there is nothing Virtus Pro can do about this. They're still defending their home. They'll get there too late.
They won't even try. They know that they have way too bad map control right now. And they can fight into an Aegis. It will, however, also be a cheese. But on VP's high ground, it's a lot easier to find an RP. And they even are able to engage without using RP. The Blink Skewer is also a threat. But OG, knowing OG, they're probably going to send some Terrorblade Illusions to hit these buildings. Try to set up for Batrider to get a catch.
And that's going to be make it very difficult for VP to get into the fight. The fact that Monkey King did actually complete up his Abyssal Blade, he's picked up a Ghost Scepter as well, so surviving inside of his Wukong command while dishing out all these mass bashes. The team fight has become a hell of a lot better for OG now. but you still do not count out Virtus Pro. They are a long way ahead. Yes, maybe for the first time in maybe 30 minutes, OG is possibly going to have the advantage in net worth as well as gold, but Virtus Pro have RP and power targets up that will just cleave through OG if they get caught. So it's OG that have to have the perfect positioning, and Virtus Pro that just have to wait for OG to come to them.
OG will be out farming them now, though, with this full map control. You mentioned the Monkey King Basher. He kind of has to be the target for VP in their next fights. You can't let this Wukong's command run into all of their melee cores. So it is tricky. And he can keep farming as well. As you said, VP can wait for OG to come to them. What if they don't want him? They can get 6 slotted. It's difficult for VP right now to get map control back. They can use this Aegis to farm OG if they want. If they don't feel comfortable going in high ground, it is a play for them.
I'm loving how OG, even though they're doing the farming, like you see that these, like it's a low cooldown, the Tornado, that was its level 25 upgrade, just keeps throwing it out, looking for EMP burns or Sunstrikes, just let them know they're there, and that EMP burns done a good job. Lil's actually completely out of mana with the lasso, picked up by S4, they'll easily kill off the Tusker. In fact, they know it so well that Ana is already looking for another kill. He won't find it, however, but N0tail's ready to push. That's no Tusker for 65 more seconds.
The Illusion Army is starting to go in and deal some damage here. Fatal Bonds will make them multiple though. But still, this multi-lane push now coming from OG. They have the Forge Spirits bottom.
Ramsey's hunt, Abyssal Blade, they're trying to clean up Ana again. S4 with a Flame Break. Tornado will flying up, a quick Dual Scepter. They need to get him out of here. The Aegis Immortal is still up at the RP. Connects beautifully from Pasha, pull him back in. No one, it's time to nom 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 on OG. Will the damage be enough? Not with N0tail. Summons the life back in again. Aegis Immortal will trigger. Pasha, he's ticking out at the moment. He will die. Another control, it's just too much control. No one spun up into the air once more, comes down into the Sunstrike, and that will put him on the noggin. Solo, he's dragged out. Everyone's gone. GG! OG take game 1 in this grand final of Kiev.
Ah, what a Wukong's command to end it on. Just to prove a point. Oh man, that spell is so... It's like soul crushing to just watch. You've had these moments yourself in your pub games, I'm sure. You're playing against this Monkey King as a melee core. You're in the fight, you're like, yeah, I got this big target. You just keep getting bashed. They actually couldn't move in that fight, more or less. 2 of their heroes were completely done. And hats off to OG for being able to pull this game back. That looked really, really bad for them. They keep playing to the one advantage that they have, which is if they split up nicely and VP either whiff the RP or
Reserve time. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Game 2 of OG VP. OG off to a fantastic start, taking out Game 1. And we are here in Game 2 with another beautiful team fight lineup arriving from Virtus Pro. More action, Sin. More action.
Yeah, this is very similar from VP in some ways and very different in others, and the same for there's been like a couple of tweaks here and there on the approach. VP have gone for even more teamfight in their support. Instead of having the Tusk, they've gone with the Sand King this time around. And as far as OG goes, they've mixed up both the mid and the safe lane drastically here. The TA is a very different hero from an Invoker, and this time No-Tail will be playing the Spectre instead of Terrorblade, who, funnily enough, will this time be played by VP. VP don't seem to favor this hero as much, but it's a great counter pick to the Spectre, and I think Ramses is really, really good at the hero. So it's just another hero in VP's arsenal that they can pull out whenever needed. So
always going to be that fun thing to play like a hero like a Terrorblade against a team like OG that also understand the nature of the hero, the timings of the heroes so well. It will be a challenge for Virtus Pro. Because as you said, OG, they're keeping everything pretty similar apart from the small change-up. Like, actually, I love the mid change-up. We saw Anna have a very hard time with the Invoker up against the Ursa last time. Ursa back to the mid lane under the hands of no one, up against a Templar Assassin, who's meant to fare better now in this mid matchup. If we take the players out of the mix.
It's definitely way better for TA than for Invoker. The refraction is nice against Ursa.
S4, you don't want to be doing this.
He doesn't indeed.
He's coming up with Fly. Like, if Fly attempts the Icarus dive, they got the Observer Ward, so he understands what he's up against. Lil, 2 targets to Burrow Strike, and he can't get both. So just let him move back out again. Burrow Strike still holding off on it. Jirax pounces forward. He's going to go for the stun. Jumping in. Icarus dive forward and straight back out again. Ramsey's here to help out. He triggers some Metamorphosis very early, but the damage on S4 combining with the Shadow Word, he should tick out down to 24. The ticks will it be enough with the regeneration from the Tangle? He's got a Salve available as well. The Shadow Word's going down 13, 9, 8. He's still not low enough to die. S4 will salve and survive.
Very close and very cool here by S4 not to use the salve, just staying calm under pressure.
Burrow Strike going
trouble,
again.
though.
Here goes another jump as Jirax back in again on the top lane. Fly still in the neighborhood. S4 forced into the tree lines. Burrow Strike's off cooldown again in 3 seconds time. But Jirax on the other side wants to go into Lil. That's 4 sticky napalm charges from S4. Lil is dropping fast. In fact, the Burrow Strike will not save him. Fly's last attack allows OG to spill the first blood on the top lane.
This is some very old school stuff from OG, by the way. It's been a long time since I've seen a tri-lane Fat Rider. It was a thing of the past. I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, this was a thing that some teams were running. OG pulling one out of the bag here. Of course, it comes at a cost. Mid lane Ursa's doing well. The Magnus has a one-on-one against Spectre, which I think is very Magnus favored matchup down the stretch. So far, so good for No-Tail, though. And well, no one seems to be, as mentioned, having a great time against Tia.
7-2 against 3-0 again.
I really don't know this matchup very well. It's a pretty rare sight. But, well, we can use this as our sample size. So far, Ana is getting kind of destroyed again.
It may be a little bit easier for Ana once he's able to start connecting properly onto the Sign Blade. But while no one's running a PMS, it's very difficult. In fact, Ana, okay, Refraction's coming back off cooldown now. But there's Norb of Venom from no one, so he just punches in. Jirax wants to help out, but what's Ana going to do? He has a little bit of extra damage at the moment, but he's so risky of death. It's like they're trying to bait no one to come underneath the tower.
Fly is connecting, and there is a DD. He will maybe see that on the way, but so will Lil.
Yep, there's your jump in. They're going after no one, so you can battle for the double damage rune. No one's still on the run. Ana pops a refraction up. There goes your jump in. No one in for the quick clap. Fairy Fire gets in the life. That last attack is on. Another 3-man Burrow Strike in from Lil. Gets the return kill onto Fly and lets that double damage, which he stole, do the work to find this blood.
JerAx playing with fire here.
Doesn't want to get too close. Especially as Ana is waiting for him to come over so they can trigger the shrine. Lil is looking for the target to find out what's going on, but yeah, he understands now. They shrine, they move back. Everything's back to status quo.
Initial laning stage definitely favoring VP here. They did get first blooded, but look at the farm values. This Mag against Spectre lane matchup is very good for Mag, as mentioned. The TB is free farming. The Ursa is doing well as well, and since OG committed so much into trying for this Ursa kill and not being successful, their supports need to go and find levels. Fly is level 1.
Has Pacha got enough damage with this? He's got a level 2 shockwave and a level 1 skewer.
Oh, okay, he broke the flask. That's pretty big.
JerAx will start to force him out of lane now. Yep. Top lane, S4, real issues for him. Firefly over the hill, the damage from Solo is not enough, but the pop from Lil will be. 1 point value.
Yep. That was a really close kill. I think No-Tail got, or why do I call No-Tail today, Toby? Why are you doing this to me?
Big Dota!
Oh, mid lane Ana. He's got cooldown or fraction, gets solo killed by no one.
Yeah, but no one can he get out of jail. As you got JerAx right behind him, Fly. There's not enough damage to kill off this big tanky Ursa. 820 HP for a Monkey King and Phoenix to get through. Little too much, especially when both of them are still sitting at level 2 4 minutes in.
Or is farming up a nice double, triple, something stack here. A lot of creeps. Let's call it that. He farms a lot of creeps, Toby, and gets level 4.5, actually almost level 5, so looking good for him in terms of recovery. One of the benefits of Bat Rider, especially if you're running an aggro tri-lane.
JerAx, do you actually think you could do this? Can he actually kill off no one? If no one takes a little bit more damage...
He will hear JerAx pouncing.
The bottle. No, the bottle arrived.
Plays it safe. He just leeches XP.
Yep.
Might go for Lil, though.
Yeah, Lil's pretty low. Whoa, hey! That's not the jump in. But, okay, that is the jump in. JerAx actually chasing Lil back into the base. He wants to push him away from that one little centaur. It will stop him from stacking the camps, please. Or stacking that one camp.
I don't even think Lil wanted to do that. That was kind of a bit of a waste from JerAx, but being there and leeching in the first place was definitely a good move. Getting a lot out of that.
Well, VP should be very happy across the lanes. We're talking about their advantage in CS. Overall net worth is sitting about 1,800, and we're only 5 minutes into this game. Top 3 belong to Virtus.pro. This is one of these games where you also ask the question, like, how do you play catch-up? You've got a spec on the safe lane. At least he's not going to be massively underleveled this time around. But is Ana the key for OG to get momentum control?
He definitely needs to have a good game on the TA, not just because, well, we've seen previously in the tournament how TA seems to either have great games or pretty poor games. Ana has been no exception to that. I think we've kind of only seen great games out of him actually on the TA. But it's just that this lineup from OG kind of reminds me of something Liquid ran in the tournament as well, with this dual core of Templar and the Spectre. I like OG's version a bit better because they have more options of catch and slightly better fighting, but it still, in essence, is pretty greedy. And if you fall behind in the lanes, you can't really recover that easily with this stuff. S4 top lane.
Yeah, really trying to engage him with the upheaval from Solo. Talked about it before, getting the early points up in it. It's a 0-2-1 build from him. And S4 needs to run. That Firefly is not going to last much longer. He's going to go back into the lane to escape.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, you know, the extra stun from JerAx if things do get rough, but now actually, well, Lil Burrow is striking himself forward. But doesn't find the target he wanted.
Now this mid lane is a lot more even. Now that TA got some more levels, refraction on high level kind of makes it impossible for Ursa to really keep the pressure up. So we'll be having a good time now on the Templar unless they rotate on him. He has also successfully stacked his Ancients once. We'll be going for the second stack now at 7. And I would imagine he wants to farm this when he's level 7 himself. Might share the experience with Phoenix. I think that would be a good play for OG. Can fly up toward the 6.
It'll be nice also to have that Wukong.
Wait, the stack failed?
Yeah, he left one Black Dragon behind. For some reason, that Black Dragon was having a smoko break and didn't want to join the rest of the team who are going out to work.
Wait, how did that happen?
Who knows, Dota.
That's actually a really good explanation.
Notel's having a lot better time on this bottom lane. So this is something Virtus Pro have to be careful of. These team fights can happen. We saw Arteezy actually being really successful with it with the early style of combat build. Notel looking to do the same thing. Early earn, you have the level 6, so with the Spectral Horn up, Virtus Pro have to know they're not always going to have the numbers. And Jirax as well as Fly, they're moving up to the top lane so they can attack, and the one person who's left behind to try and leech anything against a Bat Rider is the Warlock, who went for a 0-2-2 build. TP support's on the way. He actually starts it up with the upheaval. Flame Break pushes him back over. Jirax ready to fight. Where is his Spectral Horn? Now she comes in right in the middle of the fight. Ursa stunned up. A lot of that enrage can be wasted, and Notel, he jumps down and over towards Lil, heading east where the ward was, but now there's too much support. Magnus arrives as well. They got their kill. Now they're thinking about getting back out again.
And Jirax will successfully run off to the left.
Middle tower
Nice little snipe here from OG. Not the ideal kill. They only got the Warlock, but
They got a lot of damage into that mid-tier 1 because of the early Blightstone on Ana. He actually did considerable damage to that mid-tower.
and they forced rotation from BP as well. The Mag, as you said, came to top, and now he has to go all the way back to base. Use Shrine. Well, so
Jump again, top lane, Flame Break pushing back.
Not again.
Solar, yeah, it is again. He TP'd in after the fight happened, even while Jirax was watching him TP in. So really problematic. Extra kills going the way of OG. Not to mention now Ana, after doing damage to the mid-tower, is taking that Ancient Sack and he's sharing the experience with Notail.
Shrine up. Ana is too cool to get the full Shrine.
He needs to get back into mid. There's CS that's going to Beggin. He's got a haste rune followed up. I think he's fine. At Ramses, maybe this is the first time we see Virtus Pro really add a lot of pressure to a lane. And that's going to come from the Metamorphosis level 3. Potentially level holding on to the extra point. Not to mention Pasha holding on to RP in the tree line. The Observer Ward from OG is a little bit too far north, so it doesn't actually see this attack coming. But with the Empower buff up on Ramses, it's a pretty good indicator that the Magnus is here.
Terribly deals so disgustingly much damage with the power.
They're actually going to kill mid while this push is happening. Monkey King's going to jump in. Yeah, he's looking to go in onto no one. There's no extra stun solos in the neighborhood, but they do chip harassment. They bring the attention around. Notel in the meantime is just juking around the tree line. He doesn't have Spectral Horn. He doesn't have the dagger up either, but he runs forward. The tier 1 tower will fall. S4 with the lasso. Actually dodges past his skewer. Now Ana can go to work. The Burrow Strike through. The RP will connect. Ana and Notel basically stacked on top of each other, but the kill still goes the way of OG. Hadouken Creep's trying to help out too, but Ana, quick run away. That haste rune, so maneuverable in the fights with it.
That could have gone really well for VP if they didn't stack their RP and Sand King stun. They both had the same idea at the same time. It does happen sometimes, even to a team of this caliber. VP obviously didn't get to the finals by chance, but they got the tower. Good plays from OG, however, to at least get something out of that. It's a kill on Lil and Ana's rotation, but they didn't get more. No structural damage done by OG in this time frame. And now Lil will take the VP safe lane for a bit. It's important for Sand King to get up toward this Blink Dagger eventually and of course get the levels. And likewise for OG's Phoenix, played by Fly. Both of them are getting their respective Tomes of Knowledge right now, so we'll be finding their 6s. This is really nice by Lil, by the way. He's had the Tome on him for a while, but he wants to make sure he uses it in the fog. So OG don't know. Else I have no idea what he's doing. Yeah. It's either nice or he doesn't want to use it. Okay.
Yeah, he actually gave it over.
Give it to Warlock.
They need the rock.
That is even better. I didn't realize Solo was this low level. He's been trying to leech the lane a little bit, but hasn't managed to really get too much experience. Now closing in on Chaotic Offering. He went 0-2-3 again.
The downside for him is by the time he might have it, S4's already picking up the Blink Dagger. This is an 11.5 minute Blink Dagger on S4. Initiation is supreme. The Observer Ward of OG, this one that's so deep on the top lane, it saw Lil, it saw Solo come in. And Solo did it again. He went for the 0-2-3 build on this Warlock. He's looking for the AoE control. But Jirax smoking up. Ana's coming as well. The Blink Lasso is over on the Sand King. Spectral Horn. Notel understands. That SK kill is in the bag. So he moves over. They want the kill on Warlock. Short of level 6. Short of having a dream to defend that tier 1 tower. OG will take it.
Dire's
gone.
top tower is under
Very nice play. OG making sure to use Haunt off cooldown.
Radiant's middle tower.
We'll give the last hit to No-Tail here.
Nice trade for Virtus Pro, however. They are getting a lot of space in the bottom lane for the Bangers to continue his farm towards his own Blink Dagger, and Ramses applies pressure to the mid-tier 1.
Jirax
So
has an invis.
they're getting everything they possibly can.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And here
attack.
comes no one out from the tree line. As you said, Jirax with an invis, he can come through the back lines. Ready, doesn't have the Wukong command yet. When the Burrow Strike happens, Fly just gets deleted. Ramses S4's on top of him. The Thunder gives Ramses life back again, but the stun from Jirax holds him in position underneath that Firefly. So Anna can go to work, but no one. He really wants Templar Assassin with a push for the RP. It's Virtus Pro who are finding the kills, but in comes No-Tail. He can't attack into Lil, at least with the dispersion. Lil's actually dying. The Shadowwood has to help out. There was also an Urn Charge, I believe, doing the tick.
I think that was a strange moment between the Batrider and Terrible, where I keep calling him No-Tail.
Hey,
Or
don't
S-
blame
okay.
me, Sint. You're having a Toby one.
It's your
flip
fault,
moment.
Toby wants such a Toby moment.
Yeah.
So the Batrider was trying to circle around Terrorblade to make sure he couldn't cast Thunder with the sticky napalm on it, but No-Tail. Yeah, there we go again. Okay, there I go again. S4. S4 is playing Batrider, Toby. I think he used Flame Break in an unfortunate way that actually gave Ramses the correct facing so that he could get that Sunder off. I think it basically knocked him in to a potential Sunder. If he doesn't get Sunder off there, that is a really good fight for OG, so definitely don't blame them for going for it. But VP getting that key ability off, and of course getting a good RP toward the end to kill Ana.
You
Does
can
the
have a
trick.
look
We're
at it
gonna see it
again,
here.
so you can see the moment.
S4 Batrider. S4 Batrider. S4 Bat. Okay, let's look.
So Ramses, in he goes.
There's the
There's the flame
flame
break and pushes him up, but we have to go back live because initiation is on Ana. They have the detection thanks to Central Ward. With upheaval, Ana is incapable of running away from this. This is the momentum that Virtus Pro want. Bring down the big heroes, take the tier 1 tower, and open up for Roshan, or just open up Roshan anyway. Their issue is the Templar Assassin traps are watching this closely. So they need to commit more sentry boards in order to clear out the pit.
And similar to the previous game, OG have good Roche
Radiant's
heroes.
middle
It's the
tower
Batrider
Not
again.
for killing Roche, but for protecting the area. Batrider, Phoenix, and the Monkey King once again.
S4 just pinged out that Observer Ward. He knows his place down. But it may not matter if this tier 1 tower's gone.
Oh, he quelled him!
Oh boy! Oh boy! Monkey King!
Radiant's middle
Melia
tower
Prince
has fallen.
as he gets demoted from the tree by Virtus Pro.
Is under attack.
This is another one of those. I don't know if they actually saw him with a ward jumping up there. I can't really see it. But might just have been a game sense play from Pasha here. You know, it's kind of a low risk for him to try to go for it. Maybe he's there, maybe he isn't. Might as well just try to cut the tree, and he seemed a bit surprised that he got the Monkey King. They weren't just immediately pouncing on him like they had full confidence.
Like, let me just have a guess. It's a guess, the guesstimation game of VP. Sometimes things just go your way.
Yep.
New Observer Ward down by OG. They're going to put down a sentry, and hello. 2 Observer Wards down in the space of 30 seconds in favor of Reply. That's a nice thing for them when you notice how many Observer Wards are now on the map for the Dire side. The answer is 0.
By the way, this is something that kind of gets important later, but don't forget that this Terrorblade in Metamorphosis increases your base damage. It doesn't get counted as plus, it is base damage. That synergizes really well with Empower. So this Terrorblade in meta hits pretty damn hard. Like, I think right now his base damage in meta is about to run away. Second on.
Goodbye, Solo. Out by himself. Wow, okay. No-Tail really wants those 2 Urn Charges. Reveals where the rest of VP is. And, well, you don't have the Desolator completed just yet on Ana, but they're definitely considering Roshan. They don't want to do it, though. VP still have really good team fight. That Blink Dagger's an over on the SK, but they don't know when it's going to come up either.
Ramses is scouting here.
Jump forward. Pasha. That looked like he was trying to go for the turn RP skewer.
I think he wanted to just blink Skewer, but might have overshot the blink, so he got the blink range penalty and got a bit confused. I'm pretty sure if he goes for the RP there, that's the kill. About it. Didn't commit. Now they're going to smoke instead. I don't think this was spotted by
It wasn't visible.
a ward.
The Observer Wards are all too far away.
They're going to use this to try road.
Yeah, but the Templar Assassin Trap is in there, and Ursa actually broke smoke when he attacked it. So S4 knows. They all know. So Monkey King's trying to pounce through the rear. You can see Pasha. He's on monkey duty. Can't find him, yep. Now the Firefly up for S4. Starts sticking napalm charges. This will slow down the Earth, the flame break.
Oh, he got bashed!
He got bashed by Roshan. The Sun Ray is actually burning through the Ursa. He'll survive through the enrage, but in comes out of the Rock will drop. But it's only to control the Templar Assassin. Ursa's already down epicenter. Lil needs to do some damage with the Burrow Strike forward. He's doing it into No-Tail, but there's one charges. There's survivability. They still haven't killed off Roshan yet. Fly gets back out again. Note 2, he also didn't have enough mana to let his ulti go. But OG are fine with it. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Ursa for TA. They stop Roshan, and now they shrine up.
And they forced out RP and Meta. They still have Supernova themselves. And they didn't have Haunt. So, mission accomplished for OG. Still a lot of farm going Ramsey's way. He will have Manta style more than likely in a minute and a half. And is effectively really out-farming this TA. Not having the greatest game Ana this time. 4 deaths. And by going Blink over Deso, slowing down his own farm as well. So if these fights don't work, he falls off pretty quickly.
Let's force something again. He's using Monkey King to scout out as much as he possibly can.
He needs to be careful not to cut his tree down.
Yeah, that's a small thing. Synergy is not great between the Monkey King as well as the Bat Rider. But they're living life on the edge. The tier 1 tower is protecting them for the moment, and it's Lil who hides in the trees.
Oh, Fly is showing.
Anna's just going for it. he doesn't have to wait. If VP aren't going to come to them with no RP, with no MP, with no Golem, it's a very simple tier 1 tower, but you do have an Invis rune on no one as he walks down the mid lane. And he'll break it. He doesn't see his opportunity yet.
One observer, or rather one sentry, was placed by OG previously. But yeah, as you said, doesn't matter.
With all these fights that have been, like it feels like it went, oh no! Oh, Jirax, he was trying to TP away, right in vision of a fresh Dire Observer Ward, and with no Monkey King, they're thinking about going out. Like, Phoenix gonna slow things down. So you got RP in 10, you've got Golem in 50, and you got Epi in 6. But they're backing out once more. But VP's been really efficient while playing around Roshan. They're still getting a lot of farm on the Terrorblade. He's still over 3,000 net worth on ahead of the Templar Assassin.
Ramses is getting huge. So much value out of having Empower on this hero. You know, you can just send your illusions to push the lanes, and then meanwhile you farm jungle very quickly. So in comparison to No-Tail's Terrorblade last game, Ramses is getting better farm, and more importantly, a lot higher levels. He's actually the highest level in the game right now, tied with TA and his allied Ursa.
They're coming top. They want to fight. S4 is very good at sentry ward up on the hillside, so there'll be no quick shenanigans. And S4 blink forward. Oh, he'll get Burrow Strike. He wasn't in range for a lasso. He'll force up just far enough away. And with the Spectral Haunt, they will come in. No-Tail joins the fight. Pasha, he was still burning into the Firefly. Now into the egg. There won't be enough for Sun to get that Nova up in the epicenter. Perfect from Lil. Burning through OG. They're down 3. They're down 4. At a tier 1 tower, it's the consolation prize as well. Everything goes to VP.
Monkey King wasn't there. They tried to go in, thought they saw an opportunity there with Fly getting in, and there was no RP, but just the sheer numbers advantage playing in VP's favor there. In addition to the fact that they almost killed No-Tail S4 when the fight. I don't know. I don't know what's coming from. I've never had this problem in my life.
It's crazy with S4 style Jirax. He really wants to try and Wukong command that. Well, he'll jump straight back out of it, realizing he's a little bit too late.
Good work. He gets out.
Oh, okay.
But S4 almost died in the beginning of that fight. The Force Staff kept him alive, and if VP were a bit faster to commit, they could have killed Bat in the opener, and that wouldn't even have been a fight. But they got a great outcome out of it regardless, so not the biggest problem. Age is now in the hands of Ursa, and here we go. So he's going to jump in, gets Burrow Struck, but there's no real follow-up. I guess the Haunt might have cancelled a blink or two.
It kept Pasha out of the fight.
They're controlling Pasha really nicely in this fight. And yes, this Supernova is not ideal, but it gets enough damage out that they get the kill.
Problem is, Ana couldn't get in. Like, Lil's control, the epicenter just created the biggest wall that could not be crossed. So, OG, very much in the danger zone. 8,000 advantage going the way of Virtus Pro in the gold. It'll flatline up a little bit now, and same for the experience. That one's a little bit lower, but it's still a really good advantage for Virtus Pro. They still have that Aegis Immortal over on no one. And that means license for VP to push and attack.
Pasha was just checking for the monkey king. He blink skewered the whole tree line, but Jerax was a bit further left. Once again, Pasha with good game sense of what monkey king might be doing.
They're randomly cutting every tree. Look at Lil. like this guy right now is a lumberjack.
It's an alternative strategy.
Oh, here they come. Metamorphosis off cooldown. All ultimates up for Virtus Pro apart from Chaotic Offering. And S4 tried to slow down the push with the Firefly. Napalm, People is there. So OG can't jump.
With the pull, it's 400 damage!
Can the S4 go this? They still don't have Ana. Ana's farming. He has a TP scroll available, but he's trying to finish up the Desolator. He just got enough money for it. And he hasn't okay, here comes your TPs. They're all coming back.
Sorry.
OG, this is their time that they want to fight. Ramses doing the work from range.
God, this is so
Okay, you need to turn.
It's a combo we've seen before, but I forgot how stupid it is. That is some crazy damage output from Ramses.
S4, Firefly's up, Blink Lasso, we found the target, the Burrow Strike didn't connect, they got the Magnus with the Spectral Horn, Jerax creates the perimeter, the Virtus Pro, they're already so far away, jumping illusion to illusion, they find the real Notal, a 3-man rock, no Fatal Bonds to follow up, thanks to stun from Jerax, but no one, he's just going in, he's going ham, picking up S4, they turn their attention towards Fly, after Icarus dive himself away to safety. The Virtus Pro, they're happy, they'll stop.
We'll definitely take the bottom shrine here with Terrorblade. Great hero at taking shrines. Just take it slowly, minimal risk. Oh, he's even going to find an arcane rune. That is very valuable on Terrorblade. That's why he's going to give it to Ursa.
No, he's just playing with his SK.
Important play here, by the way, to highlight from Jerax getting the Boundless Strike out on the Warlock who's channeling Upheaval. I think that could have gone really nasty for OG. He was able to continue doing that, but DP playing it very well here. Yep. Even with Mac getting caught, that didn't turn into a disaster. It could have been really bad. Ideally, Pasha shouldn't even be targetable by S4, but he found the opportunity. Unless VP directly tried to bait it. Like, they want him to get caught so they can get an instant Burrow Strike. It was the attempt they made, but it failed.
If Lil did actually connect on that, then you would have said goodbye to S4, the Magnets would have remained live.
You would have said goodbye to the Barracks one.
Yep. Oh, no one.
A haste.
Yeah.
Doesn't pop it. Just runs away.
Just a quick TA trap to slow down no one and dissuade him from attacking.
Ramses has a Scotty in a moment. He is so far.
So, two big items for the next engagement then. He'll have the Scotty on Ramses, and Notel just reached the money for the Radiance. He will not have buyback available, but he understands the Radiance is so critical in the fights. They need to keep that Blink Dagger of Lil on cooldown. Same for Ursa and Magnus. Like, Radiance is going to do so much work in this upcoming fight. Haunts off cooldown in 17 seconds, though.
Full minute on Aegis on Ursa.
Smoking.
Meta is up. This is a fight no-tail.
They're going around the back.
You have to try with this Radiance. If they fail this fight, they lose at least their bottom racks, maybe even the mid-tier 2 and more.
Where's the scan?
Oh, they got Jerax off the...
Jerax is down, but they're coming from the rear. There's no scan out just yet. Batrider jumps in. They did find again the Magnus, and with the jump forward, the damage is big on the Warlock. He'll fall. The Nova, it won't be able to trigger. He got focused down too well, but Lil is so low. Anna was able to do a lot of damage, but Notel, he's so far down. Ramses can just hold and stay and just pawn with this Terrorblade. He'll look for more with the Skadi slow now. S4's the man on the run. Ursa's ready in 1 second to blink forward. Look for his target. The Observer Ward is up. They can play the game of vision. And goodbye Ramses. He'll TP away to safety. Anna will love to find this kill. You don't have the lasso, but maybe with Sticky Napalm, they can burn through the Aegis. Actually, no, it's already gone. It's just timed out. No one is actually stranded here with no more friends. It's a big kill to get. He's 10 wide, but then again, no one with the control. Jerax will have to come and help out. He'll be Anna to take it, ending a 6 times kill streak for 708 gold. Good money for the Templar Assassin. The Virtus Pro still did the damage, which is the full bottom racks.
No one tried to be cute there. He stayed in the tree line hoping that the Batrider would fly back past and then he could kill him off, but there was an Observer Ward placed by OG, seeing him standing in there, and Ana just disables his Blink Dagger, and after that it's pretty easy for OG. Almost lost his 4. Yes, I closed this one, but
victory!
Didn't get it. Yay! VP are still very happy with this, obviously. The kill on Jerax kind of sealed the deal on that lane of Barracks. I think OG trying to take this fight is all right. They end up getting some decent XP swing by the looks of it from it, but not really any gold advantage gained. They tried to play their superior positioning, but the 4 and 5 ended up hurting them too much in the end.
Oh, Notel's found Pasha. And Lil is coming in. Pasha is not alone. Right now, they're wanting to actually pressure bottom lane OG to force Virtus Pro to try and come in defense. Then Spec just farm top lane and haunt herself over. But it's the mid lane. The Blink Lasso, Solo caught out. Ana is here to help out. 2 attacks will do the job. More money into this Templar Assassin. And Monkey King, I don't know if G-Rex is really thinking about this. Pasha, he saw him jump. G-Rex will go further over. He's next to Ana, holding his hand.
They could get an RP on No-Tail here.
Where's the blink? Here it is. RP straight up. Where's the friends? Where's the support? Is there a way out? No, there isn't. No-Tail is down for a minute. Buyback is available, however. But now it's defense time again for OG on the opposite lane for the side racks.
This is scary for VP, to be honest. They used meta, so of course the push will be strong, but no Warlock in position, no RP. Mag is low. They will be able to do at least some good damage here. They want to try to force this buyback, but I think this is fightable by OG without the Spectre if they combine their spells well.
OG's looking for it. They have to get a little bit of mana into Ana. That's the reason why they're triggering up the Shrine. Blink Lasso, not going to happen. Lil actually got the perfect positioning, catching on S4. Yule stepped her up, plus the Spectral Haunt, creating absolute chaos. And G-Rex, the 3-man stun with a Wukong command. They catch VP out. Ramsey's able to get the Thunder up, and maybe Solo can turn this around with the Rock Drop, plus getting the Fatal Bonds, but they can turn their attention over towards, oh, actually, yeah, they can. Solo, because no one popped. Ana will have the damage. Solo will go down, and Virtus Pro, they lose the whole kit and caboodle.
It did cost a No-Tail buyback, but very, very well worth it. That's what I was thinking here. It's dangerous for VP. They go in for this push. They know there's the risk of the buyback on Spectre. I understand you want to force it, but Lil needs to get out of there.
He wanted to go for the solo kill over on G-Rex. Now he's opened himself up for a world of hurt. There's the blink off cooldown of Ana in 2 seconds time. They just have to keep that blink of Lil on cooldown. The Burrow Strike with the meld severs them in twine. VP.
I feel like I've seen this game before.
Yeah, this is...
But they didn't get Rax last game, did they? Before the bad fight? I can't remember. They might have got one. This is still VP's
they got the rain
game.
tracks. They got the rain tracks last time.
This is definitely still the VP's game, but OG with this fight, finding some much-needed momentum. If they take one bad fight now and Spectre dies, it's more or less over, however. Like, there's a very clear win condition now for Virtus Pro. Get the Roshan, kill the Spectre, end game. But Roshan is spawning soon, and OG have superior vision in the area. They have the Bat Rider, there's no VP vision. They have TA Trap. They will see the spawn here. They feel like they could try for it. However, bottom lane looks a bit scary. So they will back off and concede map control.
Well, that's when you just send No-Tail down there. No-Tail could do the defense and then just haunt into the fight. That's the advantage of having the Spec. Well, likely he's pretty close to the side shop and he can sell his Orb or PMS. He's still holding on to the Orb and Venom.
It's gonna go here, I think. No, it was got rid of the Orman. We'll TP bottom.
Yep. Roshan was started, but the Templar Assassin trap wasn't removed yet. Solo doesn't, and the Sentry Ward's too far away. They put down the Ops. Now they're actually fighting this far enough away. Yeah, they can't see the status of Roshan. You know that he's outside the pit, but you don't know the status of it, and it's already too late. Virtus Pro, they get the Aegis Immortal, and they put it on the Terrorblade.
Oh, and he has a double damage rune as well. This is how you stack up some big advantages. You just wait for the blessing of Gabe Newell.
Praise be to Gaben.
And there comes the push from BP.
Yep. And this crowd can sense it. This crowd's actually not been that biased considering we are in Kiev, but OG's had a lot of fans out there too, but Virtus Pro, you can smell the blood in the water when Ramses has all of this going his way. And there's the Metamorphosis up.
He hits for 700 right now.
Okay, the lasso, it's not an illusion! He didn't get the real one. Spectral Haunt will happen, however. Solo dropping down low. Ana can't finish the job. The Rock won't really connect on anything. G-Rex still waiting for the Wukong's command. He's a hit on Solo. Actually dropped him down very, very low. Solo has to retreat back out. And you see Ana with the haste rune jumping through the rear, but Lil will find him first. Burrow Strike out. Oh, Ana down. Ramses will take the kill. Even the Sunder used on S4. So Ramses is back up to full health, and he's just pounding it down. Smack, smack, smack. They just keep going. Ramses, the unstoppable force, or is he? Ana's trying to get rid of the golem. The melee racks will fall. Now the skewer over. They remove Outfly. But is there more damage? Ramses, he's still slowed up. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. The Fatal Bonds, it connects S4 and No-Tail. Sunray, the burn damage is there. No one's on the run. Remember, he doesn't have the Aegis, the Immortal. And it's VP. They've lost a hell of a lot of heroes. They claimed a lot more in return. And with the help of Lil's Epicenter, maybe they can claim more. Ramses, he's still in the middle of this fight. Sunder is available. Durax has to be careful, especially if no, he goes Wukong command. They commit to the engagement. The Sunder use over on Ana. They're outside the Wukong's command, but you've lost your Terrorblade. Lil will fall as well. But once again, Virtus Pro, they may lose the fight, but they've put one foot forward to win the war against OG with a second lane of racks down.
And they forced, was that only the Phoenix buyback? It might have been. That was a really long fight.
It was just, it had Phoenix and Templar Assassin. Two of them actually bought back.
That's a huge victory for VP. Yes, they end up losing their heroes in the end, but they've built themselves such a big advantage now that this one is hard to, I want to keep highlighting this
Terrorblade Magnus.
No, it's not just Terrorblade Magnus. Again, he has even better synergy because he has the double damage as well with Metamorphosis. Again, base damage. I think his number was something along the lines of 240 damage plus 400. I think whatever. Just absurd. That
Ludicrous
was absolutely
damage.
absurd.
Ludicrous damage.
It reminded me of these moments where you have a super late game situation and there's a hero with 2 rapiers. That's actually how hard he was hitting this tower.
And he showed he's not immortal when they stick around that long, and you can sense OG. They feel pressure. They feel like they need a better advantage. The crazy thing is, for all these kills, for the position they're in, the graphs start lying to you. The gold is in favor of Virtus Pro, but the same swing goes the other direction for the experience in favor of OG. But Virtus Pro, they understand they're one lane of racks away from forcing Megas against not a great pushing lineup of OG.
Question is now if they want to wait for the next Roshan or not, because if they wait for Roche, buybacks will be available for OG as well. This is a good moment of opportunity for them anyway, simply because they know there's no buyback on TA and Phoenix. So
you got all your ultis up, and like, what have you got to lose? You lose a fight. What are you? Like, the main thing you could potentially lose is one lane of racks, and that's probably going to be all.
They can't lose a lane of racks.
Okay, then you lose nothing.
If you get wiped, it's pretty bad.
Keep your eyes peeled for the Monkey King. You put an Observer Ward up. It's pretty high Observer Ward plus the Sentry. So looking for the targets. Batrider's out there too. A Sentry and Obs down for Virtus Pro. And now the blink away. S4 very nervous.
No Tail is just sitting in the bottom lane, only letting his illusion push. He doesn't want to show on the lane. He's still scared that VP could try to catch him out. Is not the case. VP have 5 heroes top.
The Observer Ward's going to reveal them all now, so if No-Tail wants to come out and beat into the tier 2 tower, he can do so. Remember, they have Spectral Horn to bring him back in. The Observer Sentry, the RP, it catches Ana. This could be big. The Wukong command, however, on the back lines. Rock may turn this fight around, but Ana gets the distance. He won't kill off solo. Instead, it's no one. He's the one doing the murdering at the back claws. 2 down for the moment. The Nova will trigger, but all the sun's up as the golem. But inside the base, it is the king of ludicrous damage. It is Ramsey's triple kill at GG. We avoid the clean sweep as Virtus Pro level the series 1 apiece.
Yeah, GG again. This is actually unbelievable. I know AUI loves this kind of stuff. He's going to be having a blast just looking at these numbers, you know. It's like absolutely absurd. But VP, again, as I was saying, there's a very clear win condition with the buyback on TA. Find TA, kill TA, win game. They manage, and we're into best of 3 now.
Ramsey's actually pumped out 26,000 damage. His building damage was 18,000 compared to the rest of his team.
Yep, that's what Terrorblade can do.
Like, the nearest to him is 785 on no one. VP...
OG's turn to pick.
Medusa.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
The series is up at 1 apiece. OG now turning to mass team fight to get back up on top. While we've gone for a red and blue theme coming out from Virtus Pro. Cinderin, it seems his crowd is trying to get behind them all.
I was thinking about your comment in the last game where you were like, this team isn't biased toward Virtus Pro. I'm like,
hey,
really, dude? Really?
Okay, they started the OG chat, and then instantly there's a boo, and the VP guys are right behind him again.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a lot of love for both sides.
Let's talk about the game a bit, because there's actually there's a lot of chop to get done here. This is a very, very different draft and some stuff I quickly want to cover. OG's early game laning stage is not very strong. Their support duo Phoenix, Elder Titan, I feel like is pretty greedy. It's not that easy to set up kills. It's not that easy to apply pressure. They are very low on lockdown. There's no very obvious synergy with Magnus and Power either. Yes, it's pretty good on Medusa, but you don't get the cleave on anyone. So their lineup has a couple of issues. VP are good at early aggression, but when it comes to the big team fights, OG's lineup is really dangerous to fight into. They have so much AoE control, so much AoE damage. However, what we talked about before in the end of the last game was that, you know, OG seemed to have this problem with losing the early mid game. When I look at this, I don't think it's going to be different. I think they could fall behind even harder in this game than the previous ones, and I hope they prove me wrong, because this game could actually be a really big stomp. But if they manage to get through the mid game and get toward the late game, their lineup is great. It's a high risk, high reward kind of draft in my eyes.
You can see VP actually working out as well. Like, they understand that OG, okay, the early games can be bad, but no one's really going to be contesting anything you do. So the Night Stalker, which is going to be running a 4 position for Lil, goes for the Iron Talon 3 Tangos. They're going to try and get a lot of farm inside the jungle if it's going to be possible. So it's up to Jirax to run interference. His stomp actually on no one. With the help of Lil, they still managed to block up the mid lane. So they still get the advantage that way, but Ana, yeah, it's going to be pretty even no matter how this works.
Yeah.
But this for me is the other critical lane. So you talk about like the influence of Virtus Pro with their roaming. You're not going to have a lot from Warlock and Night Stalker to start with. We have to wait for either the first or the second nighttime phase and see how many items Lil has got to see how effective that will be. So in the meantime, it's about the one-on-one matchups. So far, no one has always been on top of Ana in this series.
Yeah, this is a less... I feel like this is a lane where even if no one plays exceptionally well, it's less winnable, or you win it by less if you win. But it's still a lane that Dragon Knight can take an advantage in. Just using Breathe Fire well, controlling the creep wave well. Storm will push you, you can push him back. No real kill potential, especially not with the supports of OG like we talked about. The only thing you need to be wary of is don't take too many static remnants, and Dragon Knight is just fine here. So. Yep. But Ana will have a better time. The options for massive outplay for no one are pretty limited.
Yeah, they're going to require more on the rotations. Jirax, Elder Titan is fantastic for invading the jungle and causing issues for the Night Stalker, but because of the Observer Ward that was already placed down by Virtus Pro overlooking the bottom rune, they knew that Jirax came over, so Lil rotates up and he goes to the opposite side of the map where they also have protective vision. They also saw the fact that OG planned their own Observer Ward there, so for the first nighttime movement, you can bet Nelly that you're not going to have Lil go for that point of aggression.
This is like the dream lane for Axe. If you were to ask me what one of the worst dual lane safe lanes I could come up with would be, this one's pretty high up. Phoenix Medusa is a really bad lane. Pasha is actually just bullying Fly in a 1-on-2 lane because what is he supposed to do? Medusa has no impact in this lane really in terms of pressuring. He can only farm, so Pasha's having a great time. On the contrary, S4 in the bottom lane is up against something way harder. The Warlock, way stronger zoning support.
And there's Ramsey's lifesteal. There's Ramsey's lifesteal. This guy...
Oh, great shockwave from S4. That's very important. He just pulled all 3 range creeps with that shockwave instead of giving solo the pull.
See if we can get any of the last hits on these 3.
this is lane deciding stuff, actually. He got himself about 3/4 of a level with this one shockwave play. S4 is exceptionally good at this as an off-lane player, in my opinion. One of the best in this late creep aggro.
Open wounds, S4 is going to skewer away. Probably have to trigger that shrine a little bit earlier for him, but he'll be okay with it. Lil does have a small action rune. He found himself a Invis rune, but he's just going to come up and grab the bounty and just continue the farm.
I'm just looking at Tosh playing X. It's kind of funny.
Hey, he's dressed. He's dressed for the occasion. That is one
definitely
stylish set over on Axe.
Okay, so what OG need to work with here is they need to try to push the wave out with Medusa and get pulls for the Phoenix. They got the one small pull before that Pasha contested. If they can somehow push the wave out entirely and get the big pull, that would make a very big difference for the no-tail Phoenix. Jerax, unfortunately, hasn't really been able to accomplish too much. He pinged out earlier that Lil probably rotated to the other side of the jungle, and he was completely right in his pings, but couldn't really get up there and contest him. And now Lil is back at the other side, so essentially, Jerax is level 1, and Lil is level 3. That's been the trade-off in the jungle. Big win for VP.
Yep, and Jerax really wanted to start fighting. It's the reason why he's got boots and smoke on him. He meant to keep up with the Night Stalker's maneuvering, but Lil, this is great news for Virtus Pro, because coming into that first nighttime with uncontested farm plus experience gain, you're going to be looking at Night Stalker having a proper impact in nighttime, which is in 5 seconds time.
Yep. Want to point out, by the way,
the TPing top. You got a level 2 over on Jerax, so the Spirit's going to come out straight into the Stomp. Pasha will be held in position. The creep wave goes around him, but there's no kill to here. Fly is not ready to fight.
Exactly, Fly wasn't ready, so it's still, I think OG have to try to do stuff like this to connect their support so they can at least assess some sort of pressure on the map, but it's not too easy. Now, here's the problem. VP have successfully gained a 2,000 gold lead in 4 minutes with 0 kills and 0 towers. If there was a tower, that would be pretty bad as well at 4 minutes. That's pretty scary. They're just getting way more out of the map than OG. That
0 kill may change. You got only 1 point up in Upheaval from Solo, so you went for exactly the same build, but there's no level 6 on the Storm Spirit, so you can rely on Lil. This Storm needs to be able to connect. Jerax, he actually can't do it. He was short of the mana, which means he cannot hold VP in place, which allows Virtus Pro to get first blood, and Lil's not done. He'll chase down Jerax, as he's got the nighttime advantage here. A 2-0-1 over on Lil and Jerax. Well, Stomp comes off cooldown, but Lil can just basically tiptoe around this. Jerax goes for the Stomp in the tree lines. He voids him. He's got more than enough damage, and Jerax is toast. Now top lane. Okay, Fly, what do you want to do? You just lost so many of your teammates. Icarus side back under the tier 1 tower. You have no friends to work with, and even S4 is forced to TP off this off lane. You said the laning phase is going to be rough for OG, but this is more than abrasive. Lil, no mana for Void.
They are putting so much pressure on the map. This is an absolute 5-minute beatdown by BP right now, and the problem for me looking at OG here is that I don't see the solution right now. It's just they have to sit back, try to find the farm, and eventually come back with a team fight. But usually if it's this extreme in the early game, it's a problem. Sometimes you can tank a little loss, you know. We've seen other teams being able to come back. It's not like the game is just over at minute 5, but this is worrying for OG. This could, the way this is developing, if this keeps going, this could be the most one-sided game of the Grand Finals so far. We need to see what OG managed to do when they find their levels. Unfortunately, the supports are just not, they're not finding that much. Jerax is still at level 3. What's the Night Stalker? Almost level 5.
Yep.
Phoenix 3.5. What's Warlock? 4.5.
Lil is phase boots
win as well.
Like phase boots Lightstone plus the Iron Talon. He actually does work when he goes in. Speaking of going in, it's Pasha. You've got Ana. He's got a haste rune. So Pasha can't just outrun this. Got to keep the distance, care of the spins as Ana is low, but the Stomp, perfect position. Flying as well with the sprites out. He's the man to get the kill onto Pasha.
Good for OG to find something now. They need Ana to get involved in these kills because of the shortcomings of their carry and of their support duo.
The lane switch have actually worked properly too. Like the fact that Ana is moving around in the jungle and letting the supports tank up on the top lane, get the experience, and it lets No Town take the mid, the Medusa, the hero, which there's no way Dragon Knight should be able to kill the Medusa, let alone at least.
They need to have a hero sit mid constantly so Dragon Knight doesn't push the tower with Elder Dragon form, and it will be No Tail on that duty right now. As you said, Fly getting some good experience in the top lane. He's gonna bottom lane skewer from S4. He brought in the Lifestealer. He has to TP out now again.
There's no friends to help him here, and the vision game from Virtus Pro. There's the Observer Ward behind the tower, so they know that S4 is alone, and the other Observer Ward is watching inside the jungle, exactly where Lil now initiates onto Ana. Ana's having a lot of mana. He's got 2 bottle charges up his sleeve, needs to get back under the safety of the tier 2 tower, not to mention the Spirit Stomp, but that both just got burnt. Another quick jump, but Void is available. Ana's in so much trouble. Virtus Pro, all 3 kills currently belong to the Night Stalker.
Such a good play from Lil here, just playing patiently, taking advantage of the Observer Ward he has, acknowledging that this Stomp is coming in from the Titan, keeping track of the mana. He decided not to use Crippling Fear, because if he had done that, he wouldn't have had a second Void. So just holding the mana there, the beautiful play from him. And
it's daytime.
yep.
Lil's fun
A little
ends
bit
for
of
the
a
moment.
breather. A little breather for OG that they desperately need.
But he's already going to have the medallion.
Oh.
This is already up on him with all the kills. Skewer away, no one has triggered Dragon
Oh,
Form.
wait, how did that just happen? I hope we got that.
It was RP. It was RP, and then Dragon Form is off.
But he Dragon-tailed him. He must have Dragon-tailed him at the same time as RP, else S4 could have skewered him. He didn't get the skewer off. He got RP off, but no skewer. So
Well, no one's looking for a kill now. He's got 6 1-charges up his sleeves. There's a lot of... He doesn't have enough mana for one of those stuns. When he gets hit by the Spirits of Fly, no one just cannot attack. He got hit by the tower as well, so Shadow Word has to start bringing his life back up again. No Tal's rotating over. He does have the Stone Gaze up, but there's no way for OG to hold them there when the RP is down and Elder Titan's on the opposite lane.
it's still good for No-Till to show up here. He stops the push. There needs to be presence. They have to show heroes, to show numbers, so VP don't just take control of everything. No, S4, damn it. S4 has managed to... I can't explain. Kobe, I really can't explain it. This is actually unbelievable. Anyway, so S4 has been able to get quite a bit out of his laning stage. I think he's played a very good off lane this game. He's currently level 6, going to be hitting 7 here from this double... What are they called again? Tomato and potato? They're not called Ursus anymore.
The Hellbears.
Hellbear, there we go. Maybe I'm just getting old. I'm just starting to forget things.
I don't remember my Nama.
But S4 is getting quite a bit here. So that is a bright side for OG. Their offlane went pretty well. If he does get a Blink Dagger, it opens up opportunities, but they still need the other force to scale to have the
Triggers
damage.
the darkness coming into the tower. Because he used the Void already, Jirax very wisely TPs out and makes it so Fly doesn't have to fight. Fly, she didn't even have sprites up, so we couldn't really help. His darkness won't really be able to gain much. He does steal the bounty. Well, actually, I say that. He now rotates around behind
Fly
the tier 1.
doesn't see him with the ward because of darkness.
And Axe is kicking up. They've put
Look at their warding, by the way. OG.
Yeah.
They've placed 2 safe lane covering wards. That's how much Lil is terrifying them right now.
He can cut through that tree. If
Yep.
he wants to just run straight into
They saw
Fly,
him
he
there.
can do it.
Ana pinged him out.
No, it's right on top of the Dire Observer Ward. Darkness or not.
He's gonna run over and find out Ana is farming.
Yeah, that's that Observer Ward he put down
Stole the CS.
so long ago. Jirax is trying to interrupt any kind of extra farming as well.
And meanwhile, they just have this Ramsey's Lifestealer farm like crazy. Midas, soon to be an armlet. Warlock is level 6. Dragon Knight is coming bottom. This tower will be pushed now by VP. Let's see if OG have any response. Jirax is currently level 4, minute 11. And I think the Tome, actually the Tome is going to be used by Fly, so he's level 7.
Here's the TP coming in.
He is strong right now. This is a strong Phoenix with level 4 in Fire Spirit.
That's if they can force them into the fight. So there goes your first stop over on the Dragon Knight. Quick sprite out. Fly. If he... Okay, he can't even think. He doesn't have enough mana. Like, he's still short to reach his Nova.
Raindrop is giving him 2 mana a second here. So 10
help.
seconds for his combo. But now he won't have Fire Spirits, so using the Supernova is very difficult. And
there goes
Lifestealer is a good counter in the first place.
He has Arcanes plus the Ring Aura now. So he's back up. But this push, once again, Dragon Form gets popped by Virtus Pro. The damage to the tower is there, but considering VP starts this game, the fact that OG are holding the line, or at least slowing down the line,
They stopped the bleeding.
it's a good thing for them.
They stopped the bleeding. It looked like this could be a very scary graph, but OG have made some good movements to prevent losing towers.
Ana, with all the movements that actually came out from No-Till as well as him, he's at the top level on the board right now. He's the first one to hit double digits.
Got a lot of experience out of farming jungle.
Yeah. And also the farm to go with it. Looking towards that Bloodstone, has himself an Arcane Rune. Nice thing for the fight, there's a smoke maneuvering from Virtus Pro.
Nighttime advantage.
They are fighting into the one area they don't have vision. And the Dire Observer Ward won't scout out anything either, so they wrap around. S4's the biggest target, he actually breaks the smoke. And he's back behind the tower, into the trees. S4 has to know something's a little right, and now he definitely does. Lil reveals himself, S4 still under the cover of fog, and then Blink, Skewer, pulling Pasha back under the tower. Pasha does get the call off, but with the Spirit forward, looking for the stomp, it connects on Pasha, and Ana right in the middle of him. The Spirit damage, the Golem will fall, trying to turn the tide of this battle, but with Warlock already down, and Pasha trapped in the trees underneath the Nova. That stun is actually going to cancel. They pull him back in with a Vortex. Ana will find a double kill. And Virtus Pro really pushing the issue at a tier 2 tower.
They just overdove a bit there. OG took full advantage of the positioning of Axe to get a good skewer in. Rams is going to force fly away. So what happened there was if Axe gets the call off before the skewer, they can follow up with a Night Stalker Silence and maybe win that fight. But they gave the OG a lot of time to think about their response. That was like a 3 or 4 second dive into fog. OG with the better defensive position were able to hold and get some very important kills for Ana.
Dragon Knight's going to try and force down another tower with his form triggered on top lane. Notel standing its ground and fighting. Obviously a lot of OG's reinforcements from the bottom lane with no ability to TP top for the moment. So it's up to Notel to hold that tier 1 tower. And finally, Ramsey does bring down the tier 1 on bottom.
OG did a very good job delaying this long. That was not an easy defense by them. They had to commit a lot of resources. I think they would have liked to have higher CS values than they do, but defending the tower is just more important. Sometimes you got to sacrifice it, a bit of the farm to keep the map control. Map control is generally the most valuable resource in all of Dota. That's why wards are so extremely good with the price.
These fights are going to become very, very interesting with both of the armlets rapidly approaching for Virtus Pro. In fact, one of them now being done over on the Lifestealer. It's going to be up to, would you even say it's up to Ana to ensure he gets that last hit in, ensures the kill, and then moves on to the next target and not get kited out by Toggle.
There's a couple of things. They have Fire Spirit's Sunray especially is really, really good against Armlet. And Supernova, of course. Like, Phoenix has so much damage over time that as long as he is on the target, they should not be able to toggle whatsoever. But if Fly is down, it can get tricky.
But look at this tight vision again. Jirax, they got 2 wards up, and Jirax is right between both of them. The blink, the call, just in front of the Roshan pit. I don't think anyone's really going to get there in time to help him out. Silenced up, which means he can't stomp. A quick Culling Blade down, and Pasha claims a kill.
Move in toward mid. OG again with defensive positioning. They will have Storm split pushing bottom. He actually doesn't have a TP. Infest. Oh, they want to go for him bottom. Nice move back here from Ana. Good read.
The Radiant Scan actually didn't hit. He moved to the west and actually avoided hitting the target. So Pasha may actually work out that he is just farming the side camp.
It was a good read from Ana. Now he needs to not give it away after. He's actually going to show on the wave now.
Ball Lightning's in quickly, take it out, and then get the hell out of here. And oh, wow. He went down south. Pasha jumps in north, doesn't get the call. And without that control, they do not find the kill. And S4 wants it now. Reveal the position. His Blink Dagger is up, so Blink RP is available. Lil having fun with Fly on the bottom rune area, and Phoenix just straight TP out. Fly, understanding the situation, he was dead if he didn't do that exactly as he did it.
Scan from Dire. They will see that BP is still there now. The night is over. Darkness is online for Lil still, so they could look to extend this night whenever they want. But at the end of the day, again, OG are holding. This is Ana split push pressure, made VP, tempted VP to try to go for the kill. They failed. Ana got out because of really, really good reads and is keeping his farm going.
It's that mid-game you were talking about previously. Like, OG seems to be able to find enough space on the map and not give enough over to Virtus Pro that that mid-game becomes scary for like VP bearing down on OG.
This ward of Flies is good, but they're under smoke. Pasha could find an opening here.
Yeah, it runs in through the rear. There's your jump up. Double call. He got the big ones. He got Fly as well as S4. Jirax split. It doesn't create enough work, or actually it does. Combining up with the Stone Gaze. Pasha will die, but Medusa now left alone. Not enough mana for shield. And a big hit. Solo creating the space with a chaotic offering.
No mana on Ana to come in and join the fight right now. He needs time. He'll try to split push top tier 1, but VP will be claiming the tower first. They can now choose between trying to defend top or going for more.
Ramsey's
or maybe both.
TPing.
Ramsey's going top, should be able to hold this Unless Ana wants to be cheeky, can't get a couple hits in.
Yeah, going on live steal would be pretty challenging.
I could have just tried to hit the tower sometimes and see if he could get the last hit, but rather leave it out of deny range and go for it later on.
Solo's actually trying to take the double stack of Ancients.
He's dealing some good damage, and he will get a couple of
Yeah, with Fatal Bonds, he's actually taken 2 of them.
He got 3 creeps there.
G-Rex is trying to hunt him down. No.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was a high-risk play from VP once again. This time it works. It was similar to the play they made bottom, but this time they nailed the Axe call. And the moment that 2-hero call lands, the fight is almost won already. But that could have gone wrong.
It could have.
Not found it. Still needs to be careful with these plays. OG
Dire's
are
top
definitely
tower
ready for them.
is
Now
under
here goes
attack.
another tower.
Radiant's
VP
middle
claim all the
tower
tier 1s
is
18
under
minutes in.
attack.
Yeah, Rames was just able to slip up. Ana wants kills though. Yeah, the towers are going to fall. I think he understands this. But with that Bloodstone fresh on the Storm Spirit, they want to hunt. They want to find murder. And the easiest target for them right now is going to be Pasha and Solo. They're both standing on top of each other. S4 needs to get a little bit close. There's no vision up that hill for Virtus Pro, so no one. He's walking straight into it. Ana leaves the Remnant behind, a little bit of chip damage into that Dragon form. They're waiting for it. S4 still holding that RP. Gets hit by the Breeze Fire. Starts his skewer, just get a range of the control from the Warlock. Jirax caught in the tree line, and back they go.
They really don't want to go on this Dragon Knight. It's so tanky, and they just are very limited on damage. I think the key ability to killing him is actually Sunray, but it's not going to do it alone, especially not with only level 2. Oh, Ana!
The call is there. Fly. He lets the Sunray go. He's trying to keep the Storm Spirit alive. It's actually doing a pretty damn good job. S4, he thought about it. It could have been great synergy. Notal was in the perfect position with the Stone Gaze, but now they trigger Darkness.
That was flat out a bait from Ana. He wanted to jump there to set up the RP, but VP realized in time that that kill wasn't happening and that they were risking their positioning, so didn't go for it. Good play from both teams once again, but VP are coming out ahead. Sitting now on a 6,000 lead on the gold, and the experience is climbing up as well. But this is not an insurmountable lead for OG by any means. Their lineup isn't meant to be strong right now. They have got through the early game dangerous stage better than they could have hoped for, I think, after the 2K lead minute 4.
Yeah.
They managed to do a good job here. And now the question is, what's the next play for VP if they're waiting for any key items? Pasha will go for Force Staff, be able to bring the heroes back in. Lil will get the Axe. That is a big item against this type of lineup from OG. It's all about getting the jump, having vision advantage. Tilt gets Mana Field off in time.
Yeah, he needs to stay alive. Support is coming in. Jirax, the Spirit Stomp. Ramsey still protected. Lil actually dodges it. The Sunray is keeping Medusa up, and there's your call from Pasha. Ana jumps in deep. The RP from S4. It gets whopped. Only the Golem was affected. And now with the Nova, there will be a double stun on Nova and Pasha, but they're ready to fight once more. Dickerous dive away as S4. He will be culling bladed down. Pasha with the double kill. The initiations have been perfect for Virtus Pro when they've looked for them. And they're going for more. Fly wants a Sunray up. The call is there, but he only goes one direction. The bird is dumb when he's flying like that.
That was actually... The thing is, 0-hero RPs like this look so bad, but it was so close to being a 3-hero one. You have to go for this attempt as OG, and the moment it misses, the fight is over. But if you don't even try, you're just sacrificing heroes. That was a potential good teamfight setup, and VP did a very good job splitting up to not letting OG find that, but that got very close. They still have to be cautious with this amazing teamfight of OG, and they're doing a great job playing around it. And this is why the Aghanim's on Nightstalk will be so important. As long as they know where notes S4 Toby?
As long as I know where the Magnus is.
I'm going to call him by his hero's name, I think. That's probably better.
Whatever works for you, Send. I'll go with you.
As long as they know where S4 is, it becomes very difficult for OG to find the fight.
With no RP available, where is that ET Spirit? 3 seconds till it's up, and in fact, Jirax is TPing down. He just went to the bottom lane. They are doing nothing to even slow down VP on this Roshan. Upheaval becomes a buffer, but Virtus Pro don't even require it. I think Jirax understands he needs levels. This is a level 7 Elder Titan. He is the lowest level on the map, and he has no influence. That aura is meant to make Virtus Pro scared to go into OG. That aura is meant to lacquer on top of everything OG has for their team fight. And he's had to put everything into that. The Spirit doesn't have a lot of bite. It's a rough game for the Elder Titan. Oh, that blink. Skewer away. S4 lucky to dodge Lil. Again, if that Aghanim Scepter is up, that doesn't happen.
Mid lane, they're thinking about it.
Now people slowing down Notel heavily. The Sunray is down, so Medusa still silenced up. Can't let the Stone Gaze go. Fly is keeping Medusa there. Here comes your Spirit into the Storm.
Nice
the Culling Blade was too early. Life Stealer as well as the DK. They might get stopped for a second, but the damage is still being done. Medusa falls, and Ramses once more. Durax, it is the biggest meat pile for him just to steal from. Another double kill for Pasha. He's been the man of the hour. Now 6-3 for him, a Blink Dagger on the DK. Initiation's getting better and better with every minute that passes for Virtus Pro.
And no one can play so confidently. There's nothing stopping him right now. He will only really die to a Sunray plus full magic damage first. His plus armor is good against the Elder Titan aura, so they can't bring him low enough on armor to be able to kill him with like the Medusa.
And they just got the mech for solo. Now they've got the burst regeneration and aura.
Yep.
This is the perfect game for Virtus Pro. Executed wonderfully. So patient in the fight, and here goes Pasha again. Blink Call, there's not a lot of mana on top of Ana. At the same time, you can say the same thing about Pasha, but support's rotating up. Lil plus no one are on their run. They actually scan, and it actually pings Ana in the tree line. They know exactly where he is, but now they've got to go further north. And he walks into it, no one, short range blink. This Storm Spirit, 12 Bloodstone Chargers, can't even deny himself. Now down to 8.
I don't have much to say about VP's play in this game, apart from pretty much
Damn!
one good decision after the other. They're playing exceptionally well.
It seems very tempered. Like they're in a great position for the fight. They take 2 kills, but they don't go too far. The only overextension you could probably even feel was what happened on the bottom lane, but that was a situation forced out by S4.
That's true. The one dive they did bottom was a misplay. The rest of the game has been extremely good. Dota gonna drop the rock on Notel
Medusa.
here.
Fly starts up again with the Sunray. Where's the support? Ramsey moves forward. Notel's trying to get rid of the column, but Upheaval is making this difficult. Ana in the neighborhood. Bring him back to the Remnants. There goes your Stone Gaze. So you do get rid of the golem. Where's the support? S4's waiting. He's still under the cover of Invis. He had his blink available. He wants them to group up so he can go for the RP, but VP's positioning is so scattered. He'll have to skewer into the 2-man RP, but there's just no follow-up. The ET Splitter won't do jack when Medusa is gone. The ET Splitter try to create more space, and he'll have to deny himself up. OG are down 2 cores with no buyback, and VP, like blood-crazed sharks, they hunt OG in this ocean that really belongs to them.
They're gonna go high ground. They do have the Aegis on Ramsey still. No RP, no Earth Splitter, no mana for super. No, okay, he has sticks, so Fly can go in here. But VP's heroes just seem unkillable. They're gonna do this spread where Storm can't hit them all with Ball Lightning. They still have the mech ready on Warlock. That wasn't even used. So gonna climb the tier 3, play it pretty safe here, and go for the top shrine surrounding or bordering the Roche pit. No, they were pinging it, but didn't want to go.
This is the no-risk Dota from Virtus Pro. Wait and see where OG is going to come out to. Don't lose this lead. You're now hitting 13, almost 14,000 advantage in net worth, 12k on the experience graph. Everything goes the way of VP. The Midases are making the richer.
Do they become the richest then?
They become Monopoly.
Because internet. Okay. So, okay, what upsides do we have for OG? It's hard to find them. They lost a lot of Bloodstone charges on Ana, but
they still have good team fight on the higher ground in defense.
Lincoln's on Medusa is completed, and he will be building in toward a damage item, I would imagine. If no-tail goes Mantis, well, they still don't have any damage output, really, to speak of. But Midas.
Jump. Oh, short jump. They go over towards Pasha. Pasha takes a lot of damage when he gets hit by the Mystic Snake, and now to the Sunray. Fly started killing himself off, but with that kill, 643 gold into the Phoenix. They should be able to bring down the tier 1 tower, and there's no buyback for the Axe.
They might pressure forward even further here.
You have RP available. So yeah, take the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower.
Aegis is down. All right, we were talking about upsides for OG. That kill was a pretty big upside.
Space created.
Kill and 2 towers in one play, more than likely. VP might try to fight. They have Golem in 5.
They have the BKB also on the Dragon Knight, so
Good
he is
fatal
going to be
launch
huge in
on
this
Ana.
fight. Oh, Ana jumps in, tries to clean up the
Oh, he got
wave.
stunned.
No one jumps up. There's your Sunray again. Need to keep him alive with the RP! Magnus hits on them all. The Sunray's been pushed out a little bit further. They've only killed off the Warlock with the ET splitter. It'll kick in. Ana is low. Ramses. The Rage will wear off in a second, so he has to start backing up. The tower is still OG's objective. They haven't brought it down. The denial not going to be possible. OG does get the last hit, but no tell. You can't leave him alone. Storm already did. Ana has left. He's gone top to start the push going. While Ramses and Lil, they start the fight. Pushing in towards the Medusa. Jirax tries to create space. They get the stun off with a Culling Blade. No towel will fall. OG trying to push the envelope. But they get punished as the pickoffs on the retreat only include no tell for the moment.
That was a really good fight for OG. They set that up so beautifully with the great RP from S4 into a good Stone Gaze. Supernova wasn't used though. I think Lai didn't have mana during the fight to get that off, and that could have made a difference. But again, it's just showing like how well it needs to go for OG right now. It's just the glaring issue is they don't have damage. There's 3 hero RP, 3 hero Earth Splitter, or at least 2. Medusa is hitting like, what is it you like to say, wet noodle? Like, whatever it is. It sounds like something an Australian guy would say.
Wow.
So, am I wrong?
He's hitting like
Crikey!
He's hitting like a fish. It ain't a beauty.
Like a wet fish.
Like a wet
That's
fish. A slippery wet fish.
Well, if you
The
swing
damage doesn't even stick.
If you swing it hard enough, it's the right fish, it can be pretty painful.
Okay, we're not, right now, he is just a bad fish. He's not like a marlin.
Well, OG just had pretty much the close to a perfect fight, and it wasn't good enough. What is the next move?
The next move is to hide. Lil now has Aghanim Scepter.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Ramses, good read here. Is going to hide in the tree line.
Jirax is probably going to try and push the Spirit down there to try and find him, which means Ana needs to jump straight away and get the Orchid off. If he doesn't, Ramsey just does that. Rage away. But you do have the creep wave with the catapult behind him. So OG, once again, they aggressively posture, looking for the kill. If they can get it, they guarantee the tower. Now, they guarantee a little bit of damage on the tower.
Ooh, this ward for OG is really, really good. They have a lot of information to play with here.
If they can actually make any use of it, the Yule Scepter is up. They try and keep the axe under control so he can't blink forward, but the Dragon Knight, he's able to do so with a double breeze fire. Magnus will fall before he gets the RP off. Dragon Knight locked in stone for almost an eternity. Eternity is over, and he'll turn himself over to Medusa. The Storm, it's not he can't help out here. It's just run away. Ana's gone top already. The control is perfect, no one's damage output. The splash with both breathe fire and double damage Dragon Form. He was hitting, like, we already had the Terrorblade doing terrible, terrible damage. This time around, it's the Dragon Knight.
They found Mag with Axe.
Oh, the jump!
Oh.
He got another one, he got the other Titan! Easy as pie!
Axe, boys, pretty good. Just find that vision. Just give the vision for Dragon Knight to go on whoever he wants. That fight was... Night Stalker did so much work in that fight without, barely by casting anything. Just being in the right place gave Dragon Knight the easiest fight of his life. Finding the Mag, the moment Mag dies, the fight's over. Like OG, it doesn't matter if they play perfectly after Mag dies. It's just flat out impossible to win that fight. So they have to protect Mag. I think S4 needs to go for a Shadow Blade, or they need to play under smoke. The smoke expired and they didn't find the opening they were looking for. Sure, they got the tower, but it's not worth the heroes they lost, and the racks especially. Definitely a bad trade-off. Now VP, they've actually got really good vision in the OG base. There's no sentries.
The ping actually came out from Fly, so I think he's aware that that Observer Ward does exist. And the smoke being used by OG, wait, was that actually in range? Oh boy.
It's all in time.
But they're looking at Roshan. Roshan is up. It was a quick timing for him.
Takes forever.
OG kind of want to contest Roshan. They don't want to take it.
We'll be moving around.
There goes the Life Stealer illusion. It looks inside the pit. And the Dire scan, they don't find anybody. But here comes Virtus Pro. Under the cover of their own smoke, Ramsey's the one exposed. Now he jumped into Axe. There's no Dire vision on top of Virtus Pro. They have it closer towards the shrine. The VP are inside Roshan. Dragon Form triggered. They are going to start Roshan. So where is this vision? Oh, there's the stun, the blink out. No one was ready to engage. Fly does have buyback available, but without the shrine to TP2, getting into this fight is going to be very, very difficult. Not to mention, Lil is still a walking map pack.
He has darkness. That's Roche.
You thought the night was going to end.
OG can't get in.
Spirit Stomp.
They can try to steal it with Storm. He's
Oh, jump! Snatches the agency model. It's Ramses that does it, and it killed Roshan. Now they turn their attention over towards Pasha. The stun, it won't connect from the Elder Titan. Dragonite has to wait this out with upheaval. They just can't really move anywhere. Anna's already leaving. He understands. Cut your losses. This fight is VP's.
That was actually pretty good from OG to at least get the Roche last hit. I thought they were going to get nothing there. Ana going for the risky play of trying to steal the Aegis. Didn't die in the process, at least. But there's just so little to look forward to for OG in this game. Medusa has died 7 times. No Tail is having a very hard game. I don't blame him. I think it's a super difficult game to play. And
here's that jump. The Ana Ball Lightning kill on Roshan. He wanted the Aegis. He didn't want to have that. Well, he'll take what he can get.
Yeah, something.
Because with the Aegis Immortal potential, he could have kept fighting there. Now he's got the Bloodthorn up and running. Like, Anna's doing what he needs to do. He understands that he needs to survive, not lose these Bloodstone charges, and wherever he possibly can, get a pick off and buy time and space for OG. You've lost your mid-racks, you still hold your tier 2 towers, and you're still going to believe in the power of the Magnus jump. This is that late game which VP have been positioning perfectly against, but one mistake, one bad play, and OG might finally have enough damage to kill someone from VP.
I still think they require more farm on the Medusa, or the Storm needs a secondary damage item in addition to this this Bloodthorn. He doesn't really want to buy one though. If you go all in on damage on Storm, this hero is extremely difficult to play without anything defensive. There's a couple of stuns there. The Dragon Knight stun is obviously very good. The Night Stalker Silence is a big problem. Axe Call is a very big problem. And that is the reason to find a Lincoln.
So what you're saying is OG's got issues.
They have really big issues, and I would argue that this game is a lot more about draft than play, because I actually think OG have played a pretty damn good game. It's just extremely difficult to execute this lineup of theirs. And VP, not only is OG's lineup difficult to play, but VP's counters the big weakness that OG have early on. They have a great aggressive lineup to take advantage, and it's just super good drafting from them. Like Solo has maybe not been outpicked a single time the whole tournament. Their draft is always good, and the games they lose are mainly to themselves, to be honest.
Here they come.
Dominant, here we go.
They wanted to Dragon form, you know what he wants to do. Blink and Dragon Tail stun, whoever can find. S4 goes for the skewer. Ramses was close by, but they just Dragon DK. And well, S4 down again. Buyback is available while VP, they're deep inside the base. Where is your jump in? Magnus actually holding onto his buyback. Now it's Pasha, gets the call off, but Yul's has it pretty quickly. The jump forward is over on the DK. Now this BKB is one off, but the chaotic offering is absolutely perfect. Combining it up with the Fatal Bonds. The damage, well, then again, now you've actually got Virtus Pro starting to retreat. Skewer back over. The RP is up for S4. Combining with a Shockwave and Sunray and the Storm from Jirax. Virtus Pro have to stick around. Ramses is a sole survivor for this team. He's looking for a kill on Medusa. Make this worthwhile. But the Yule Scepter, it buys time. It buys space. They understand killing off Ramses. It's difficult to say the least.
Great hope from OG, showing the strength of not buying back instantly. The lack of information for VP baited them to stay around, and the moment they saw this opportunity to jump on the Dragon Knight after the BKB wore off, the buyback comes in, they jump, and they get a fight. It's not a huge win for OG, but they get a couple of good kills. Still, they had to expend the buyback of Mag. Storm did die and lose Bloodstone charges again, and essentially, what was the outcome of the fight? Was it 4 for 2 plus buybacks? So pretty even, but because OG are behind, they get that extra influx of gold. So something for them, and actually a full Shiva for Fly now. He got really rich off of that fight.
Wow.
He got, I think, 1,000 gold from kill bombs.
He killed
alone.
Pasha and he killed Lil during that engagement. The only other money went to S4 for killing off Solo and No Tail for no one's death.
And Fly is almost level 18. His damage is starting to become really significant. And sure, you've got Lifestealer on VP, but the Shiva's level 3 Supernova is not easy to bring down, and you actually might have to try.
Like both Shivas and Skadi, like you actually have potential now from OG to kite.
Yep, you can definitely kite these heroes.
Let's have a quick look at it again. So S4 goes through this entire engagement. He forces the fight to happen very deep and underneath the shrines of OG. Now Virtus Pro understand they're in too deep. They want to back out. Pasha, that Yule Scepter timing.
Yeah, very nice play from Jerax there to counter out that.
And then the slap down. But the funny thing is, like, while all this is going on, now it's like, okay, I'm back. The fight can still be there. Let's jump it through the side. 4-star into that. Into the RP,
nice.
and then the Sunray Shockwave Stomp combo. The synergy, the timing is perfect from OG. They need so many more like that to get control of this game back. And I mean a lot more like that.
They're very good at holding high ground as a team. They're kind of reminding me of, what were they? The LGD team of the past that were just such a nightmare to push into on high ground because they really understood very well how to combine their abilities and what they can sacrifice and what they can't. LGD, funnily enough, were also very good at doing that exact play with Phoenix, or sorry, with the Medusa. Phoenix as well, actually.
Someone needs to buy this guy a new gem. He just walked underneath the Dire Observer Ward, so Virtus Pro understand exactly what's coming their way. And notice again, Ana refusing to be part of these fights yet. He's trying to get as much as he can by pushing up the side lanes before the engagements begin. He can just TP himself back into the fountain and then ball lightning to the front lines if he needs to.
The gem is a really good point. I think EP have to get it. They should be buying it already. I don't know if anyone can afford it, though. It doesn't look like it.
They've just got 2 sentry wards coming out to solo.
By the way, notice that Ramsey split his Sanjin Yasha into Manta plus Heaven's Halberd. He wants the Halberd
They
to
found
break.
Ana.
Oh, yep, they did.
Lil has the vision. Ana is just walking around, but he is very, very visible. It's not enough for Lil to kill him by himself. Even though Ana doesn't have the Lincoln Sphere yet, gee, where is the vision for him? He sees almost nothing, goes into the tree line, still has no idea where Lil is, and Lil is playing the edge of it. Ana in the trees, there goes your silence, and will it last long enough? Ramses is there, he has to Bloodstone deny himself. The 70 seconds on the sideline, and they brought their entire team up to stop him.
Bloodstone deny comes out down to 3 now for Ana. Ramses hits really hard, that MKD coming into play. So he's going to split the SNY. I think the main reason he wants the Halberd is to break the Lincolns on Medusa so he can get open wounds off. It actually makes a big difference that they heal off their attacks on the Medusa with the open wounds running, and that he can also set up his Dragon Knight for the Dragon Tail. The Manta, what's it really good for? He can break Fire Spirits.
Dire's top tower.
He can maybe, if he's very clutch, dodge the Titan Stomp.
What do you actually think about that Aghanim Scepter Titan Stomp? That is what's in the quick buy right now for Jerax.
It gives the disarm to the ulti. I think it's pretty weak overall, to be honest.
That's what he's putting his money in.
But it can make a difference. In my opinion, one of the worst Aghanim Scepters in the game. But there's a place for everything. The disarm against a team with this much melee in it can allow you to hit a pretty good stomp. Could be the deciding factor. Most of the time we see Titans super late game look toward a refresher, but the problem is Jerax doesn't have enough mana in his build. He's just too low level.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's an issue. He has a lot of levels to gain before a refresher becomes a possibility. Even with Yule's and Crest mana regen, that's not nearly enough on him. Only 674.
OG. He's moving out of their base. Every fight they've been looking to have an advantage in has kind of been like in their own territory, and I'm not even calling their side of the river their own territory anymore. That belongs to Virtus Pro for a while.
They have very aggressive wards in the OG jungle. Currently not all connected though.
Phoenix gets revealed.
Bought a full AC, but he's not connected with his team. Gonna see if we're gonna have an infest play here. With Ramses. There's a ward. They find it.
Smart.
They still don't have, do they still not have the gem?
The gem is on the ET. No, they haven't bought a gem. Long jump. Trying to use the Observer Ward. Ana burns half of his mana to get in there. I'd say with a couple of Bloodstone charges, he'd regenerate it, but he's got 3.
We should stay time for a little bit.
It's pushed VP away. They're not going to take the engagement. He's still got another minute until Roshan. Like, this would have been the sweet spot. You got 3 minutes until it is nighttime, or 10 seconds until darkness.
I really wonder why they're not buying a gem. If they just aren't thinking about it, or if they don't think it's worth it. I feel like it's the best purchase right now for them out of anything, especially because, you know, not buying it. If you buy it when you're in a good position like this, it goes on the purchasing cooldown. So then you can, if you misplay later, you can have another gem later on. But like this...
Yeah, right now, their only gem they bought is in the hands of Jerax.
Yeah, maybe they're expecting to be able to claim it back.
There they go. Infest onto the Dragon Knight. He can breathe fire and push his mid lane in just a little bit harder. Roshan's up in 15 seconds. The Spirit from OG, they're trying to stay as close as they can There are observer wards on the Radiant side of the river, but it's Dragon who
Mag.
wants to fight the jump in through the rear. They get that kill. S4 is down with no buyback. Medusa, the Stone Gaze, she hasn't triggered it yet. Is it going to be enough time? Now it's going to come off. Slow him down. Wait for these BKBs to wear off into the Supernova. And Dragon Knight, he can't get away. Bloodthorned up. Ramsey's actually stoned, and now they will have more time. The rocks will fall. The Fatal Bonds will hold him there. No one is toggling his way through this entire fight. They just can't get the kill. No Tower will fall. And DK finally is down to the ball lightning, and it will get back into safety relatively. But he's lost 2 heroes. Fly is still on the run. No ability to dive. He'll be Carling bladed down by Pasha. And Virtus Pro look for their second lane of racks. No buybacks for the 3 dead heroes of OG.
The key again is just finding
long
Mag.
jump.
He's going to TP.
He is delaying this. There goes your darkness.
This lane of racks is gone as well for sure.
Yeah, they have to let it go. Fortified just buys time. OG understand they can fight the bottom lane. When they have Phoenix as well as Magnus back up again, they will fight it. And VP, so far from what we're seeing, they will pull out after taking this. They won't look for the engagement.
No. Not without the Dragon Knight at least. It's just the problem that OG are facing is if Mac gets jumped, I don't see options. I actually cannot imagine how they can possibly win a fight if Dragon Knight or if the Magnus gets jumped. S4's positioning is almost impossible to play as well because of the Nightstalk racks. It's kind of one of those checkmate situations where getting the jump is almost an auto win, and having better vision is almost a given.
And they had the better vision anyway. They had an observer ward behind OG.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even deep ward. You had the gem on the Elder Titan, but you didn't get close enough. You didn't actually see the high ground point. So they had 2 observer wards around them. Yeah, Durex puts the Spirit in. Well, Roshan belongs to Virtus Pro, and Lil dodges the Spirit. Easy. And now you got a heart on the Lifestealer. Oh boy. Leaves the cheese on the deck. Looks like no one's going to be picking that one up. And jump taunt. Elder Titan, come play.
He did.
Yep.
That's the gem back. Oh, nice we didn't buy a gem.
See, that's why you don't buy. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the plan. Actually, they bought a gem. There's one from Lil sitting on the courier back at base.
Yep.
You got enough money. And Virtus Pro, they come hunting again. This time there will be no observer wards outside the base for OG. And also, once again, Anna is trying to keep that pressure out through the top lane. You can look at the buybacks at the moment. Magnus is the only one with buyback. He's still short by 800 gold on Anna as Ramsey starts the assault.
He doesn't care.
No, why would you? You got a secondary life plus a heart and a Lifestealer. The skewer, it's on no one. Bringing him in range of the tier 4 towers. The freak waves there, they just don't have enough. The Magnus up in the air with the Yule Scepter. RP is still available. And you get again the stoning onto the Dragon Knight, but the rock is perfect. No one's falling down. Low triggers the cheese. The RP is there. Will it be enough damage? Notel tries to split the damage out, but he's lost his Storm Spirit. He's lost that single target. The fly, the stun, it creates space. Comboing out with Durax as no one is falling down. He can't toggle himself through that one. Now Ramsey, he will try and go for the run. You still have brought down all the racks, and so the Megas are on the field. And come on back, Pasha. S4 will skew you in. Lil wants to keep fighting, and so does Ramses. This guy still has an Aegis. He wants an engagement. He wants OG to come to him. He wants to be 1 game up in the grand final, and all he needs to do is want it a little bit harder. Push the tier 4 towers and take it now.
40 seconds on the Storm Spirit there. Down mega creeps. Ramses is
burning.
More or less immortal.
Someone put some sunblock on him. Fly doing too much work. Spirit's out, doesn't really affect Ramsey, doesn't have his rage, but there's your call. It got Magnus, there's no RP, the spins are doing the work. S4 has to force up himself up, but now they're actually locked together. The Photo Bonds are there at the same time. Well, Lifestealer, that's not working for him. He has to toggle his way through under Notel. Remember, he's still got the Aegis. Finally, they'll burn him. He lost his friend in the axe, so there's less manliness on the front lines. Ramsey wants to run. Durex will send him up and towards the air. No Spirit, but here comes your TP in from S4. Where's your stun under rage? It doesn't exist. And Solo also successful, TP away.
Last game, we had the absurd damage of the Terrorblade on high ground. This time, it's the tankiness of the Lifestealer. He doesn't even have evasion apart. Well, he does have the Halberd, actually. How much is that again? So 25%. and they have a crest. He actually has a lot of evasion, Toby. Why
Yeah,
do you say he doesn't have evasion?
I said nothing of the sort.
Okay, but seriously though, this Lifestealer currently has 30 armor, gets a crest on him, has the 25% evasion of Halberd already, and had the Aegis. He was harder to kill than Medusa for the VP lineup. And now the Megas are up. OG.
Oh,
They're
boy.
going to stay in the game hoping to have this incredible team fight in their base, but...
Nortal knows what he's got to do. It's rapier time, boys.
there's no other play, really.
I mean, what do you do? He's going to sell what he's meant to get to that.
What did
He has the demon edge. He thought the wand, I believe. In fact, he's still holding on to that to this point of the late game.
Farm up some camps. VP are having none of it. They want to go.
Yep, they're coming in. The stun is already there. They found Ana S4. Yule Scepter will send up the Dragonite. Sets him up for the skewer back. No one's not part of this fight. Maybe with the Stone Gaze, they're keeping no one out of the engagement, allowing Ana and Nortal to focus on the Immortal. I don't know why they want to do that. Ramsey's still alive, down to 1/3 life. The Rock will drop. Gets the extra stun. They're bouncing around. Double buybacks. Required. RP still available. They come back in. The 3-man RP. The damage, it needs to happen right now, but no one's just standing his ground and doing the work. This should be it. This should be GG because you've got OG 1 foot in the grave, and now they're about to be pushed in by the Russians. Virtus Pro, they have wiped OG from the face of the earth and are now 1 game up in the Kiev Major Grand Final.
So I was saying after game number 2, what OG probably need to look into is having a better early game where they can build an advantage or at least be tied and not fall behind too much. I feel like they took a step in the wrong direction. I'm not sure what the guidance, what they were talking about backstage was. They actually took a fairly long break to talk over their strategy before we went into this game. And they come out with, I think, a solution to a problem that they didn't have, instead of a solution to the problem that they do have. So